And we are live. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brown Logan, and welcome to ABL Live. You could be almost anywhere in the whole wide world, but you're right here with me live on the show, and I appreciate y'all for that. Please like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. If you're on your favorite audio streaming platform, give me a 5-star rating, give me a review, give me a share, give me a comment, whatever you can. I'd appreciate you for that. We got a whole lot going on. Congrats to Amy Coney Barrett for getting a nomination to the Supreme Court. I think she will be confirmed very soon, right away almost. Shout out to Charles Barkley and also Shaq for telling the truth about all this defunding the police nonsense and Breonna Taylor and whatnot. We're gonna talk about that also. Dreadhead Cowboy, what were you thinking, sir? You're galloping your horse on the Dan Ryan Expressway in Chicago with no shoes on for a half hour? Obviously, the horse can't do that. The horse slowed down a few times. You wanted to beat it to make sure that it kept on going? You're crazy. Also, Joe Rogan got a lot of money to go over to Spotify, but what glitters ain't always gold. We'll talk about all those things. There's a whole lot going on. And again, I thank y'all for being in here. Oh, I almost forgot about the platinum plan. Let me talk about the platinum plan from Donald Trump for the black community and for America at large. There's a whole lot going on, a whole lot to discuss. And again, I thank y'all for being here live with me on ABL Live. And again, you guys are the best audience on the internet. So if you enjoy what you're hearing so far, if you enjoy the content, give me a thumbs up. Give me a share, give me a comment, do all of what you can. If you're not subscribed yet and you're on the YouTubes, go ahead and subscribe right now. And when you do that, click the bell as well so you get notified whenever I go live and or post a new video. We got a whole lot to talk about. There's a whole lot going on. I'm not really sure where to begin. Alrighty. Now let's talk about Dreadhead Cowboy, shall we? I think that might be a place I want to begin. And then I might get into Amy Coney Barrett and also Barkley and Spotify and the Trump Platinum Plan. Matter of fact, hold on. How about this? Let's start with the Trump Platinum Plan. Let's start in the more positive place first. Let's start there and then we get into some other things. All right. And then we get into I think probably the biggest story, which is probably Charles Barkley or Amy Coney Barrett, becoming the next Supreme Court justice, in my humble opinion. She got a nomination. She's going to be in there. It's a matter of confirmation. We'll see a big dog and pony show as it relates to that from the left. But first, let's talk about, where was I? Joe? Oh, the Platinum Plan. Yes. Now, Trump unveiled the Platinum Plan to, bolster the black community, but also Americans in general. If you read the Platinum Plan, if you look at a lot of the things that's in it, it's not just for black people. You can't do that because you can't just say, all right, we're going to give black people X and black people Y, because then it's like, okay, what about whites? What about Asians? What about Hispanics? You can't give one particular group money. You could do things that will help particular groups for sure. Absolutely. Because if that's part of your constituency and that's part of your voting base, you want to do things that are going to help each special interest group. If there's a particular thing that you can do to help them, then do it. Now, of course, elephant in the room is that it takes two. You can't just say, government, please help me, and you do nothing. A lot of the things that are in the Platinum Plan, you got to get up out there and get it. You can't just be at the house and expect to be delivered the things that are in the Platinum Plan. All right. The things in the Platinum Plan include, tax breaks. You can't get a tax break if you don't work. Okay. Opportunity zones, charter schools. You can't benefit from an opportunity zone if you're not out there making money, if you're not out there making moves and, making things happen. You can't benefit from a school choice voucher if you don't want to go to school. If you don't want to get proper education, you can't even really benefit from that. So it takes two. All right. The government can be there to assist you, but really it's all on you as an individual. It's all on your family. That's where it really starts. So that's the elephant in the room. But there's also going to be things that the government can do to make life easier. My favorite part of the Platinum Plan, and I'm gonna try to put it on the screen. It's gonna be kind of small, but I think I'm gonna just have it up here right quick, and yeah, I'm gonna just kind of scroll to it when I need to. There, that's perfect. Okay, see, it's more on this side, but I'm gonna just be over here for now. Now we're talking about 3 million new jobs, creating 500,000 new Black-owned businesses, increasing access to capital. Now, you can't do these things for the Black community specifically, but you can do things that would incentivize us to go out there and get it. One of the main things is having less regulation, less taxes, less bureaucracy, less red tape. That's a really big problem. Like I said in my video, if you have a high minimum wage, it's like $15 an hour. You got all kind of crazy taxes, all kind of crazy regulations. It makes it hard for those who don't have a lot of money to start business and to maintain business. All right. If you have a high minimum wage, it's easy for a very large company with a lot of capital to pay that. You know, all they got to do really is just slightly raise their prices, and they could just adjust some numbers and they could stay in. And what they end up doing, like, here's a prime example, Walmart. If Walmart were forced to raise the minimum wage $15 an hour, what they would do is just close their underperforming stores right away, straight away, and then they would increase the price of their goods in the store. Simple. So what you would end up having is mostly affluent or middle class type areas served, and the lower class areas ignored. Why go over there to the lower class area when the money that is generated from that store does not make sense for the store to be there? Why would I keep a store in this area when I can't make any money there due to regulation from big government? Let's cut those taxes. Let's cut all that stuff, all the red tape down to the minimum necessary, and then we could get things rocking and rolling. That's part of the Platinum Plan. That's going to help all Americans, but especially those of us in these low-income Black areas, right? The Second Step Act, that's a continuation of the First Step Act. You're going to get people in jail out that have been there for a very long time on nonviolent drug offenses. Now, somebody was saying to me in my previous video about the First Step Act, hey, ABL, what about people that get out that were violent sex offenders and stuff like that? Well, they're not going to be able to get out through the First Step Act necessarily. And what I mean by that is the First Step Act, the main goal of it is people that have been in jail for a long time on drug charges, they can petition to get out. All right. Now, some may get out because the First Step Act also increase your good time. So if you are a model inmate, you may get an extra week or two of good time. So if you were a violent offender and you came home as a result of that, you were going to come home anyway. So if you did 20 years, 20 years in 1 week versus 20 years flat, what's the difference? You see what I'm saying? So misunderstanding, miscommunication from that. But the main thing is to keep, people out of jail that have been in jail for a very long time on a nonviolent drug offense. I don't know guys that have, shot and killed people or almost tried to kill people. They got less time than some of these people that are in jail for drugs. All right. So that's the main thing there. And again, thank y'all for being here. Definitely appreciate you. Let me see. Let me go back to what I was doing because I just want to see the chat right quick. Dio Black says 80% of those in prison for drugs have violent records. Well, now here's the question. Like I was saying to you, if you in jail for drugs for 25 years, and the reason why you in jail for that long is because of the drugs, and you did 8 years already for your malicious wounding, should you still be in jail? Because if you didn't have a drug offense, you would have already been home 18, some years ago, even though you had a violent record. You see what I'm saying? We got to just make sure that we have people in jail for the appropriate amount of time. If you had a violent charge, get charged with that, serve that time, and do it and come home. I know guys that have been to the penitentiary like 6 years, malicious wounding, manslaughter. They do much less time than drug charges. Serve your appropriate charge for your violent crime, and then you should be able to get out earlier for your drug crime if you're eligible to come home. Because again, you got a petition to get that. You might not be able to get out as a result. You might have been crazy in the penitentiary stabbing and slicing and everything else in jail. So it's all relative. Oh, it's all good, Dio. It's all right, man. All right. So back to this one here. Better education and job training. You need that for sure. That go back to the whole thing of charters. That's really important. People were somehow like upset at charter schools. I'm like, why? What's the big deal? Black churches. Let me see. Telehealth care. It makes sense. Immigration. That's one of the main things right here. This is going to help all of us, especially black folks, because a lot of jobs that people take that come here illegally and also through some of these, loosely handed out visas are jobs that we need. People say, oh, Americans don't want to do it. That's gaslighting. They're telling you that Americans don't want to do it when in reality they do. Okay, I know plenty of guys work at the meat packing facility at Smithfield in Virginia. Oh, Americans don't want to do it. There's plenty of Americans that want to do these jobs. They have no other alternative, because a lot of these dope boys out here, these guys are not making money. People think, people that don't know too much about drugs and what's happening in the street, they think that if you sell drugs, you just, rolling in dough. That's, nah. Most of these young boys, these 15, 16-year-olds out here selling drugs, they might make McDonald's money at best. And that's if they're lucky. I think they did a study that says you make like $3 an hour by selling drugs on average. Okay. This ain't 1988. This ain't New Jack City, Nino Brown. Those days are long gone. This ain't paid in full. What usually happens is you got a 14, 15, 16-year-old selling cocaine, weed, and he ends up dead by the time he turned 21. If he makes it to 21, he's lucky. If you get locked up for being a dope boy, you've actually succeeded because at least you didn't die. That's usually what happens. All right. A lot of these young boys end up dead over small $20, a wrong emoji on Instagram. That's kind of what it's like out there right now. So having said all that, let's get some of these jobs back and let's encourage people at a young age to, take advantage of these jobs. I would have added one more thing into this, but it probably wouldn't have been a real big hit. I would have just added some other things to enforce or to incentivize the things that are in the bill, because you can say, all right, we're going to fix immigration to, give more jobs to American people, but you got to want to get those jobs. I would eliminate the welfare state. I would cut the welfare state down to bare bones, for sure, down to bare bones. So if you are like actually disabled, you got some kind of real physical condition, you're able to get some government benefits. But if you're able-bodied and you just at the crib chilling, eating bonbons, nah, you got to go ahead and get rocking, okay? And I would tie it to school attendance as well. What you're going to be eligible for once you get to be older. Like I would have a whole system, kind of a almost militarized system, just to make sure some of these things go right. Oh, I'll be hard on crime, like, and real crime too. I'm talking about like, crimes against people. Drug crimes are crimes as well, but crimes against people would definitely be a thing. If I were the king and I could rule by fiat, I would not have it where you can kill somebody because of a laugh or a clown emoji on Instagram and get 5 years, but you sell some drugs, you get 25 years. It make no sense. Okay, so that's pretty much what I would be at. Let me see. Oh, home ownership. Financial literacy was a big one. That should be a thing that's taught in all public school, period. Private too. That should really be a thing, because people, if you get money, like let's say you break away from the projects, you break away from the low income area and you become somebody, you get a little bit of money in your pocket and it's burning a hole through your pocket because you don't understand how to deal with money. You waste your money. Like lottery winners is a prime example. Lottery winners, they have no idea how to deal with that money. Okay. They win the lottery and they go out and buy a house for $800,000 and a Bentley. Oops. Anyway, they go out and buy things they can't afford or things that they shouldn't buy, and they keep on doing it. And then the money just, it drifts away. It's gone. So they won $5 million and a year later they have no money. So financial literacy is a real big thing. whether you win the lottery or you just go out there and work and really save the money, however you make the money, you need to understand how to, how to utilize the money and not have it utilize you. All right. And then also onshoring manufacturing, again, that's going to help all Americans, but definitely Black Americans that are living in these low income areas. And we've been doing that for quite a while. We got this whole trade war thing going on right now with China. So hopefully we get that really cracking, rocking and rolling. All right. So that's the platinum plan. Matter of fact, go to DonaldJTrump.com. You can check it out right there. Read it for yourself. All right. We got a whole lot going on. Thank y'all for being here. You guys are the best audience on the internets. Let me see. I'm reading some of the comments too. Now, Amy Coney, not Comey, like James Comey, Amy Coney Barrett. This is a great decision to select her to be the next Supreme Court justice. You don't really have any flaws in your character. Actually, you don't have any flaws in the character. It's not you don't really have any flaws. There's no flaws in the character. If there are any flaws in the character, I'd love to see them. Please show me where the flaws in the character are. I don't really see it. Okay, you're talking about somebody that, nuclear family, adopted children from Haiti. One has like special needs. I'm not sure if it's the Haitian child or just her other children that were adopted. But just a great person, very smart, top of her class, like number one in her class, extremely smart. Even some liberals are saying how smart she is. Okay, people that are just not biased, they say how brilliant of a person Amy Coney Barrett is. And that's a thing that you can't really deny. And she's been like that for a long time. She was on Trump's list from the very beginning. If I'm not mistaken, if I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. But she was on the list from the very beginning. Okay. But Gorsuch got in right away after Trump got inaugurated to replace Scalia after he died. And then you had Anthony Kennedy retire. And then the whole thing happened with Neil Gorsuch. No, with Brett Kavanaugh. Gorsuch was first, then Brett Kavanaugh. When Anthony Kennedy retired, Brett Kavanaugh came in, and that was a whole big dumpster fire right there. That was a whole big mess. They try to say that he was touching girls inappropriately. He was 18. He was a drunk. He was drinking, all types of stuff. So with Amy Coney Barrett, they don't have anything on her except for the fact she's Catholic. So now you see what's going on now. The Democrats are going full mask off. I'm talking full mask off, straight KKK, 1480. They're going completely full mask off. Talking about Knights of the Columbus and, they did it, all types of stuff. I'm like, wow, really? Are we going back to that? But what else do they have left? What else do they have left when you have a person with a character that is infallible with no chinks in the armor? You're going to attack their religion. You're going to become a bigot. That's crazy. And the funny part is that when people try to question Joe Biden's religion by also being Catholic, oh, he's a devout Catholic. He goes to mass, all this and that. Oh, okay, that's fine. But when Amy Coney Barrett being, a Catholic and talking about Knights of the Columbus and all this, it's like, really? Okay, what's going on? Now, if she vote for the lockdown, what happened with that? What's really going on? I don't even know anything about that. Now, you guys let me know what you know about Amy Coney Barrett that I don't know. Let me know about her. If you guys have any information that I need to know, some pertinent information, I'm reading the comments best I can, so you guys let me know. But either way it goes, I think that this is going to be a good selection, a fair selection. And I think one of the main things that we need justices for is to get that Roe v. Wade out of the way. It's crazy how it's crazy how the left are trying to say that she's somehow evil for not wanting to kill babies. And I'm not even sure if she's going to be an opponent of Roe v. Wade. I mean, I'm assuming that she would be. I'm assuming that Trump talked to her about Roe v. Wade. If you're going to appoint a Supreme Court justice, and how old is she anyway? She's got to be like no older than 50. Hold on, let me just check it out right quick. Amy Coney Barrett, age. 48 years old. Yeah, so this is a lifelong appointment. She could be there 50 years. Who knows? So that's very important to have somebody on there that's going to be against one of the most controversial things of our time, which is Roe v. Wade. So they are saying that she's somehow a bigot for not wanting to continue Roe v. Wade, to not want to continue to kill babies. So it's crazy. Rita Lane said, she said she worships Satan, then the left would have approved. Exactly. Yeah. But you know what? The left are crazy. Whoever they put in there, they're going to be against. It doesn't even really matter if they have similar views to the left. If the left would have put in Amy Coney Barrett, then it would have been fine. They don't even really care. They care not. Because, I have a prime example for you guys. Did you guys see Joe Biden and his comments about the military? Well, not about the military, but to the military. They said that Trump called service members losers and something else. Was it losers and something? Just, some disparaging things about the military. That's what they say he said. I've not heard any evidence of this. I've not seen the tape or heard an audio clip of that. But they say he said it, and that's enough, right? But then when Joe Biden is captured on videotape saying certain things, then it's all of a sudden an issue. Matter of fact, if I can find it, I will pull it up. You guys know how I do. I will pull it up. There it is. Now, if you got kids in the room, cover their ears right quick, because I'm going to play this, and then I'm going to get back talking about Miss Barrett. So this is Joe Biden in 2016. That's right. Thank you. All you guys, losers and suckers. That's what they said that Trump said about the military. You losers and suckers. That's what they say that he said. Again, no evidence of this, no videotape, no audio tape, just word of mouth. Okay, you got John Bolton, a big time Trump hater who was there. He wrote a whole book about hating Trump and said that it didn't happen. And if it did happen, it would have been two more chapters of the book. So you got a big time Trump hater that was there. He didn't hear it. Nobody else heard it. But somehow that's out there as the truth. But when Joe Biden says this on tape, then all of a sudden there's crickets from the left. Let's check it out. And if you got kids, cover their ears right quick.
Notwithstanding what you may hear about me, I have incredibly good judgment. One, I married Jill. And two, I appointed Johnson to the academy. I just want you to know that. Just clap for that, you stupid bastard.
So, as you hear that, clap for that, you stupid BASTARDS. All right?
Notwithstanding what you may hear about me, I have incredibly good judgment. One, I married Jill. And two, I appointed Johnson to the academy. I just want you to know that. Just clap for that, you stupid bastard.
So that's fine, right? I guess that's all right. That's cool. Oh, he was just joking. I mean, that was not a joking face. He was dead serious. he was dead serious. So I'm just trying to figure out, like, are we going to say anything about that, leftist, or are we going to leave it alone like it's no big problem? We just going to leave it alone? Oh, okay. Right. Now, context, this is 2016. He is at a base somewhere. I think it's in the hangar, actually, as I see the plane behind him. And you have servicemen and women right in front of him. You see the uniforms on. All right. So you see the plane right there. That's what it appears to be. It appears to be a hangar based upon the background. And you see, the sandbags, and you see the guys in their uniforms talking directly to the military right in their face. And that's fine. You stupid BASTARDS. And that's fine. But Trump allegedly says a thing that nobody has any evidence of, and we pretty much run with it. Just like this whole thing about good people on both sides. All right. And in the tape with the good people on both sides, he said specifically what he was referring to. He said, I'm not talking about the neo-Nazis and the KKK. I'm talking about people that were there for the statue of Robert E. Lee, not the bad groups. I denounced them totally. He said that at the same time, but we just totally forget that. We totally ignore that part of the whole thing. Interesting how that works, but it is what it is. Yeah, that appears to be an Air Force base, but I'm not really sure. So it is what it is. Oh, he was just joking. It was just a cool little joke. But you don't get that kind of privilege to be joking where you're on the right. You don't get the privilege of context when you're on the right. That gets stripped away from you because it's all about pushing a particular political narrative. Shout out to Jason Whitlock from Outkick. He used to be on, I think he was on ESPN, and then he was on Fox Sports 1 recently. He had a show with Marcellus Wiley. I like Jason Whitlock. I saw him in D.C. about a year or two ago. As a matter of fact, it might have been last year I saw Jason Whitlock speak. And I asked him a question and everything else about ESPN. But anyway, he had a great quote on a podcast with Clay Travis. And the quote is, the media used to pander to New York, and now the media panders to Silicon Valley and the tech companies. That's super big facts. If Twitter doesn't really matter, if Twitter's not mad about that, if they're not upset, then the New York Times, Huffington Post, Washington Post, they don't say anything about it. But if Twitter's in the uproar, the left gets in the uproar, and then the editors over at Twitter, yes, editors, people that curate the so-called trending topics, same thing with Facebook, Instagram, everywhere else, oh, then they get on the ball then, because that's pretty much, Twitter is like the de facto editor of the New York Times. That's kind of how it goes. So since nobody over at Twitter and whatnot is upset at Joe Biden for the comments he made towards the service members, then it won't be a story at all. Okay, I'll talk about it here because this is real. I'm like, where's it? It's big time hypocrisy. If Trump is bad for allegedly saying a thing about that to the military, then Biden must be wrong for saying it on camera with videotape evidence. There's multiple angles, multiple different cell phones, clear audio, but it is what it is. Oh, and you know what? Another crazy contradiction that I've seen on the Twitters, this headline. Okay, here's a headline for you right quick. And this is straight from CNN, and I'm not making it up. I'm gonna show you the page on Twitter live. I'm gonna show it to you. All right. Now, if you can't read it because you're listening to audio only, I'll read the thing for you. This is from CNN. This is their official Twitter page, and I'm not lying. I click on it right now. You can see it. I'm scrolling. This is their Twitter page. It's verified in the whole 9 yards. Okay, let me go back. Now, the headline reads, as armed far-right and black groups increase their presence across the U.S., John Blake fears a confrontation could escalate into violence that erases a summer of racial progress. Now, there is so much wrong with that, it's not even really funny. I'll read it one more time for you guys if you didn't hear me. As armed far-right and black, capital B, black groups increase their presence across the U.S., John Blake fears a confrontation could escalate into violence that erases a summer of racial progress. Now, first things first, far-right and black groups with a capital B, we're talking about Black Lives Matter. Now, I don't know about you guys. I'm not necessarily, I don't have 20/20 vision, okay? I'm not wearing these glasses for my own health. Well, I am wearing it for my own. I have bad vision, okay? I have to wear these to see properly. So maybe I'm just looking at the pictures right. Maybe it's my eyes playing tricks on me. But when I see the pictures, I see mostly white people and Black Lives Matter. That's the majority of them. Are there black folks in Black Lives Matter? Of course. But the majority are white. You have in Black Lives Matter so-called protests, really riots, in Provo, Utah. How many black people live in Provo, Utah? What, the Utah Jazz players? Is that it? And do they even live in Provo? They probably live somewhere downtown Salt Lake or whatever. They're not going to be living in Provo, Utah. So why is there a Black Lives Matter so-called protests out there? How about Seattle, Washington, San Francisco, Portland, Oregon? Are those big hubs of black people? I don't think so. So why are you calling them a black group when it's not even really black? They say Black Lives Matter. That's a smokescreen. And then they say far right. Why can't you call Black Lives Matter and Antifa far left? Why can't you say that? And what makes a group far right? You're talking about Proud Boys or something like that? What makes them far right? I don't really understand. The violence that I see comes from the far left, Antifa, Black Lives Matter, etc. Then further into this headline on Twitter, it says, a confrontation could escalate into violence. Now, there's been violence for the past 2, 3, 4 months. People have died. They lost their life. You have dozens of deaths already because of the so-called protests. Okay, people are dying in protests, and they're dying as a result of the protests encouraging lawlessness. Okay. Then they said it's some more of racial progress. Racial progress? So I guess the racial progress, somebody said it best. They were like, I guess getting Uncle Ben off the box of rice, that's racial progress. Or Aunt Jemima removing her is racial progress. Oh, okay, I got it. So we're going to take black folks off the package. And by the way, do you know that Aunt Jemima was a person and that person's family was getting royalties from her being on the box? Her black family? Huh? Uncle Ben too. Oh, that's fine. That's okay that we're going to take her off the box and take money away from a black family as long as we can be woke and say that we did something for the black people, retarded. Anyway, this is what the media does. That's how they operate. But I digress. The point is that the media are going to try to bury Amy Coney Barrett with whatever they can. And it's going to be totally baseless because they want to just try to prevent her from being confirmed before the election. But you know what? It doesn't even really matter. They can try, but we got the Senate. What are you going to do? Oh, you're a hypocrite. You didn't want to do it last time. Hey, so what? Call me whatever you want. Don't call me broke. Don't call me collect or from the penitentiary. How about that? Call me whatever you want. But guess what? We got the majority in the Senate. And if you had it, Democrats, you do the same thing. So I don't want to hear nothing. I don't want to hear a word. We're going to get it done before the election. And if we can't, for some odd reason, we still got until January at the earliest, okay? Because we're going to get another 4 years. Have you seen Joe Biden lately? Has anybody seen Joe Biden lately and how he's looking? He never looks well, but he looks even worse here lately. Matter of fact, okay, here is a shot from MS-13 MSNPC. All right, let's check it out.
For example, the Paycheck Protection Act. 1% of the money's gone out. 1%. 1% of the that's not the paycheck. The bill for small businesses. Lending. Mainstream lending. 1%'s gone out.
He was totally lost right there. This is sad. I like to make jokes. I'm a fun guy. I like to make jokes, but this is just ridiculous, man. I mean, come on. This is elder abuse. And it's been elder abuse for some months. And I feel like it's gotten progressively worse over time. I'm talking about time as far as this campaign cycle. Not even talking about years ago. I'm talking about weeks ago. It's gotten worse. He's totally just not even really there. Look, you see, he's like touching his head like, man, I can't even really do this. And he's at home. It's like, sir, what are you going to do when it comes time to really campaign? Can you campaign from your house? I've never seen that before. I've never seen anybody campaign from their house or like right next to their house. Okay, he'll do a live shot just outside of his crib, always in Wilmington, Delaware, or Philadelphia, which is right next door. Come on, man. You got Trump going all over the country. Trump was in Georgia. He was in Virginia. He was, Florida, like in a day. But Biden is at home in his house and is struggling with 2 minutes of speaking. Come on, man. You can't do that. You got to be able to get out there. I feel bad for the guy just by being a human. I don't want him to win, of course. But good grief, man. This is crazy. Who's going to vote for that guy? They're talking about he's polling well. How? I don't see it. And one thing that's kind of coming clear is that he's performing no better than Hillary Clinton did in 2016 at the same time, according to the same polls. No better than Hillary Clinton. So when it comes time for the debate, listen, the debate is, the clocks are ticking. The debate is Tuesday, and I will be here streaming that. Oh, hey, set your calendar. I will be here Tuesday streaming the debate live on ABL Live, special ABL Live on Tuesday. This coming up Tuesday, they're going to have the first debate. This debate is going to be the equivalent to Mike Tyson in 1986 with Don King with the big crazy afro on the sidelines with no cape, just, mean mugging with some street shoes on, stomping some random noob into wine, stomping a tomato can into recycled tin. You understand? It's going to be like that. It's going to be kind of hard to watch, but you got to watch it because this is you're running for the president. This is what you are doing. The Democrats should not have him right here in this position, but they got him here, so we're going to watch it. And I think the poll numbers are going to tank. They're going to do a nose dive, kamikaze Japanese, straight to the water, straight up. Because, come on, is it getting canceled? You think it's going to get canceled? Do you think they're going to have the debate? They got to have it, because if they don't have a debate, if they cancel the debate for any reason, he's finished. If he has a debate, he's finished. They're just trying to buy time now. They're trying to buy time. Shout out to Mr. A. Mr. A says Biden's performance going to be the equivalent of ABL's opponents on the RT debates. Hey, yeah, maybe so. Biden won't show up. You think so? Man, if he doesn't show up, like I said, it's over with. It is a wrap. It is sad, but at the same time, it's like he's running. So what are you going to do? You can't just not hold him to any kind of standard because he's in bad condition. If you don't want to fight, if you don't want to be in the contest, I need you to exit the ring. Throw in the towel. Throw in the towel. Do that, man. Don't just stay in the ring and keep getting punched in your face, man. Go ahead, throw in the towel. Know when to hold them. Know when to fold them. Know when to walk away. That's it. All right. But what else we got going on? It's a whole lot happening right here. Shout out to my main man, Charles Barkley, for dropping knowledge about, Breonna Taylor, and also the whole thing of defunding the police. He is, he's what the cool kids call woke. The first thing about the police being defunded, he's saying, look, why would anybody want to defund the police? Who's going to do that? Nobody's going to be in these bad neighborhoods, all this crime and violence, and say, yeah, go ahead and defund the police. People really want the police to be there more. If you're living in a dangerous area, you don't have safety, why would you want to have less security? It doesn't make any sense. People that want to have less police are usually in one of two categories. Sometimes they're not, but sometimes they are. Now, the first category is those that don't live in the neighborhood and they're just trying to virtue signal, like Alyssa Milano. Okay, they say, hey, you should have your police defunded because she tweeted out a petition to have 90% of LAPD's budget slash 90% of LAPD's budget. Now, she lives in the LA area, not quite LA County, though. She lives in Ventura County, up north in the hills, right? She lives in the estate, 2.5 million back in 2001. She bought it for with her husband and her two kids. When there was a so-called armed gunman who wound up being a teenager with an airsoft gun hunting squirrels, when she saw this boy in the bushes, she called the police. Her neighbor did as well. And when she called the police, you had 7 squad cars, a K9 unit, a helicopter, and the fire department come out to respond to the house. Active shooter, all this, that, and the third. So if you're going to call the police when you got problems, obviously you're not trying to defund them. If you want to defund the police by 90%, that means you can't have that immediate quick response, the overwhelming response to your property, all right? Tell your husband to go out there, get his gun, if he has one, probably doesn't. Go out there with the kitchen knife, go out there with your KitchenAid mixer and try to knock the dude in the head with a gun. You try that and see how it works. Or you can call the police. Or both. Get your husband to stop being a beta and defend the property and call the police for backup. Why not? Oh, you just want to call the police. Although you say you want to defund the police. That's what Charles was talking about. He was saying these rich white people, rich people in general, well-to-do neighborhoods, they're going to virtue signal and tell you to defund your police, but they're not going to do it for themselves. They'll still have the police. And if not police, dialing the number, you also have private security. They did that in Minneapolis. Minneapolis said, we're going to defund the police, right? And the city council got their own private security detail after they did that. So we didn't want you guys to have the police out there in the street. We pretty much let everything just burn up and we'll let things just happen that way. But we're going to have private security detail. And then when they realized what was going to happen, like they didn't know already, that crime was going to increase, violence was going to increase because of no police or less police out there, then they want to say, oh, we got to get more police back, you know? And then I think they were asked, well, you say you wanted to defund the police. What happened to that? They were like, well, we still think policing could be changed, but people are complaining about things right now that the police can fix. It's like, well, you don't say. If you take the police away or defund them or have less of them, you're going to have problems that you didn't have before, and you're going to get complaints from the general public about it, all right? You didn't think about that. You didn't care about that because you got your own private security, City Council, Minneapolis. You got your own private security, and that's fine, right? That's kind of how it goes. They have their own private security, but you don't. So Charles Barkley was right on point with that. And also about Breonna Taylor, he was like, look, this ain't George Floyd. This ain't no knee on the neck or nothing like that. This is not like that. Okay, the boyfriend shot at the cop. What do you want to do? Not only did you shoot at the cop, you shot the cop. The boyfriend shot the cop in his leg. And shout out to my brother Breonna Taylor for having the video up of the officer on the ground almost bleeding out. Shoot him in the leg. Don't shoot him in his head. You aim center mass. That's what you're trying to do, right? You aim center mass because you had a better chance of being able to hit that. If you get shot in the leg, if you get shot at all, you could die. You can get hit the wrong way. It can hit an artery. You can bleed out and die. If the officers didn't render him aid right away, he would have died right there because he was laying in the pool of blood from being shot in his leg. All right, it hit a femoral artery and he almost died. So the boyfriend almost killed the officer by shooting him while they're trying to execute a search warrant after they knocked and announced. If they didn't knock and didn't announce, it doesn't matter because they had a no-knock warrant. People can say they don't like no-knock warrants, but it don't matter. If it's legal, then it's legal. That's it. But they did knock and they did announce, right? So he shot at the officer and then they shot back. He dips. He ducks down, gets out the way. Meanwhile, she's just sitting right there in the hallway. She gets shot up and she dies. The reason why Breonna Taylor got shot is because of the boyfriend shooting the officer. That's why. If they would have just came out, or if the boyfriend would have just, figured out who's at the door, because they knocked. If you got a home invader, they're not knocking at your door, and if they're knocking, go to see who's there. Go up to the door. If you need your gun, take it. Go to see who's there. Don't just shoot without knowing who's there. Or maybe he did know who was there and he did it on purpose. The police, they record your calls when you're in jail, right? Everything that you say on a line in the penitentiary is recorded. And in the documents in the Breonna Taylor case, you can see what they're saying on the phone call. They're talking about how sloppy Kenneth Walker, whatever his name is, was for shooting the cop and then getting Breonna Taylor dead. It's your fault Bree dead. They were saying that in the transcripts. People that were in jail that knew him and knew her. People that were in jail from the other trap house, right? They blame him for her death. So the police, they got a search warrant, is legal. They're coming in the crib. He shoots the police. He leaves, doesn't protect his woman, quote unquote, love of his life. Okay, if you're going to shoot somebody, even if it was an intruder, you're not going to have your lady in harm's way. You're not going to start shooting, have her right there getting shot. You're going to have her get down, get out the way before you start shooting. Just thinking about somebody else. He just shot and let her get shot. Dumb. Didn't care. Let's love of my life. I can't tell. So Chuck and Shaq were right. And then Shaq said it. He was like, look, they had to get the warrant signed. You can't just go get a warrant from your computer and print it off and just go down there with it. You got to get it signed off by a judge. And you got to be able to prove that you need a warrant. They had been investigating or just looking into Breonna Taylor and that whole thing since 2016. The first incident was in 2016 when the dead body was found in the car that Breonna Taylor had rented in her name. All right. And the person that was found dead was a quote unquote associate of her boyfriend. So what happened with that? Why was her boyfriend's associate found dead in the car that she rented? Who did that? Why did they do that? That's a red flag. That's pretty mysterious. Let's open the file right now and see what we see. They got all kind of evidence on the pole cameras, seeing her go to the trap house. They got her car, a license plate. They got her picture. They got phone calls, all that. So shout out to Chuck and Shaq for keeping it all the way real about Breonna Taylor all day long. Yeah, she was one or two things. She was probably a human shield so he wouldn't get shot, or he ducked out of the way and allowed her to get shot he didn't protect her. That's the main thing that we can say. He didn't protect her because, let's be clear, she got shot 6 times and died. He did not get hit 1 time. He didn't get shot at all. If they're both in a hallway, standing up, she gets hit 6 times. He doesn't get hit at all, but there were 20 shots that got let off. Come on. But it is what it is. Oh, yeah. Now, I saw that rapper 10,000 about Jacob Blake. The officer revealed that the ex-girlfriend was saying that Jacob Blake had her keys and her kid. So the officer was thinking that he was going into the car to try and kidnap one of the kids, to try and take the car and leave one of the kids. You see what I'm saying? So now you got an active kidnapping. You're trying to fight the cops, all of that. Yeah, the whole Jacob Blake thing was crazy. The knife was on video. You saw him fighting the officers. You're trying to fight, resist, and you got a knife, all of that. You're doing way too much. Sexual assault, kidnapping. You're doing way too much, sir. It is what it is. All right. So, yeah, that's going to go nowhere. Oh, people are saying about Breonna Taylor, why did she get a settlement? That always happens. Even when there's, when the person is clearly wrong and should not get one, they always get one for various reasons. But that's kind of standard practice. So that doesn't really mean anything. It's a civil suit. Just like with OJ. Now, OJ, that's a different story. But they won a civil suit. Although he beat the murder case, they still got the civil suit. That's kind of how it goes. But although with OJ, we know that was something else. We know that what happened, what the verdict was, is not told the story. But it doesn't matter if he was guilty, innocent, or what. The whole issue is that they were still gonna get money from the actual lawsuit, regardless. That's just kind of how it is. Benjamin Crump's whole angle is to get money on the back end from a civil lawsuit, 20%, 30%. That's his whole deal. He doesn't really care about winning the case. Is he a criminal? Is he a civil, what does he actually do? I'm not really sure. All right. Exactly, Marissa says, R.I.P. Breonna Taylor. It's a shame her life ended, but so young. But if you live by the sword, you die by the sword. There you go. All right. So we got a whole lot going on. Oh, let me see. Spotify versus Joe Rogan. Now, you guys may know about Joe Rogan, the Joe Rogan podcast. Joe Rogan's podcast is one of the biggest podcasts in the world. Definitely top 10 in the world. Beyond even some podcasts out there that have big corporate backing before Joe Rogan had the backing of Spotify. But anyway, his podcast, one of the biggest in the world, one of the most popular, had iconic guests, Elon Musk, Alex Jones, Mike Tyson recently, just really big guests, right? So he goes to Spotify for a big exclusive deal. They're saying it's more than $100 million. I'm not sure how much it is, exactly, but they're saying beyond $100 million. And I believe it because Joe Rogan's podcast gets 190 million downloads a month. 190 million. That's not even including YouTube views, which is a whole different animal in itself. Off of YouTube alone, he has one of the biggest podcasts in the world. Then you got the podcast being on other platforms, Apple iTunes, Google Play, etc. One of the biggest in the world. But anyway, he has to deal with Spotify, big deal. And when he did that, I was like, man, this might be an issue. He might have the podcast corrupted by Spotify because you got another company on top of what you're doing and you got to answer to them. You see, when he was just doing it on his own, just putting them on YouTube and, putting them out himself, there's no boss to answer to. There's no higher power to answer to. When you get into that kind of employee situation, now you got to answer to them. and they already started doing some things that are kind of weird. They did not include some of the most popular podcasts on Spotify, and I'll explain. Rogan has a big library of podcasts already. Now they're going to move all of his library over to Spotify, and you'll only be able to get it there, nowhere else. No YouTube, no Apple iTunes, no Google Play, only on Spotify. Spotify exclusive. So they're moving everything over there, but people are noticing, hey, where's the Alex Jones episode? Where's the Jordan B. Peterson, his daughter? What's her name? Breonna? I don't know what her name is. But where's the episode with her? Where is this episode? Where's that episode? They're not including episodes on Spotify that are kind of controversial. Now, I saw Alex Jones give an explanation. He said he spoke to Joe Rogan, and he says that they're not putting the most popular podcasts on there because they want to roll it out later and have this big thing. But they want to keep them on YouTube for now. It was kind of weird. A strange explanation. That was earlier in September, like September the 3rd when he said that. But now we see that the employees of Spotify are staging a walkout. They're trying to protest. It's like, look, okay, Rogan is problematic. We don't like Joe Rogan. So this is what's going to happen. Either you're going to fix this content, you're going to allow us to curate it, edit it, maybe even be involved with who's going to be on the podcast. If you don't do that, we're going to walk out. That's what's going on right now. They want to be able to edit every podcast before it goes up on Spotify. I was like, man, that's crazy. And I hope Joe Rogan doesn't bend or break. He can't. Hopefully his contract is pretty rock solid and says that he can do whatever he wants. He can maintain creative control. He's got to do that. Because if he doesn't, then it's just like, all right, you pretty much sold out big time. And he already kind of capitulated a little bit because remember, he had a podcast recently about Portland. I'm not sure if it was about Portland, but the issue of Portland came up. He was talking about how they're setting fires out there, which is facts. Everybody, people getting arrested for it. It's facts. It's not a thing that's untrue. There's already been an arrest for the violence. But anyway, he had to apologize on Twitter about it. It was this long, detailed thing. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'll never do that again. I just read it. I didn't have all my facts straight. You know, I'm sorry. I was like, really? You apologizing for that? Apologizing for being right, really? I was like, come on. What are we talking about here? But I figured that would happen because of Spotify being in the mix. All right? Now, it's all right, repping 10,000. Let them roll. Shout out to Mike Rowland. I understand what you're saying, Mike Rowland. It says Joe is an idiot who gets good guests. I won't say he's an idiot. I just say that the podcast is not really about him. The podcast is about the guests, and that's fine. That's totally fine. If you have good guests and you're able to have a good interview and have it not be about you and more about them, and they can give a lot of things that they didn't give before, and it's kind of flowing really well for an hour, however long it is, that's totally fine. I'm not really against it at all. So it's okay. But the issue is that he's allowing himself to be edited and censored by the Spotify's. That's what's going on. So we'll see how that turns out. I feel like Rogan has more leverage than Spotify does, but that's the whole problem with these tech companies. They're run by SJWs. Even if they're not at the top, even if the execs aren't, the regular rank and file people are. The employees are. You got a bunch of furries and neckbeards and whatnot working for them. That's kind of what's going on. And they get triggered to everything. Oh, they said that they want a trigger warning before some of the podcasts. Like a literal trigger warning. Okay, here's a podcast about climate change and people disagree on a topic. So trigger warning, because I think that this is going to be kind of triggering. Therefore, there's going to be a problem. Put that in front of the podcast. Shout out to Jordan T. Russo, who says all 1541 previous episodes are now on Spotify. There we go. Good money. Now, the question is, are they going to stay there? How long are they going to be there? Because the employees are like, look, we need to have some trigger warnings. We need to have some editing because a lot of this content is problematic. And they're trying to call them sexist and stuff like that already. And my question would be, did Spotify not know who Joe Rogan was before they signed him? Did they not look through his catalog, listen to his stuff, and then brief their employees? Why are they surprised about who Joe Rogan is? Did nobody know who he was? I mean, if you're going to give Joe Rogan at least $100 million, you should know a little bit about his background. I would think, do a quick YouTube search and listen to a podcast or two, just to kind of get familiar with who he is before you write a check that has, all them zeros behind it. So it is what it is. Thank y'all for being here. You guys are the best audience on the internet. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoy the content so far. Give me a share. Do all that good stuff. Oh, thank you, Pamela. Pamela says, show the Kamala video about her favorite rapper. Yes, I'm gonna show that one right quick, and then I'm gonna super chats. The favorite rapper video was hilarious, and I'm gonna talk about that a little bit too. Okay, let's check it out right quick. This is on my Instagram page. I'm gonna show you this video. That's Instagram.com/Anthony B. Logan. That is ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN. And let's check it out. This is Angela Rye and Kamala Harris. All right.
And then best rapper alive.
Tupac.
He's not. You say he lives on.
But not a lot. I know. I keep doing that.
You said, listen, West Coast girls think Tupac lives on. I'm with you. So Tupac, keep going.
I keep doing that. Who would I say? I mean, there's so many. I mean, there are some that I would not mention right now because they should stay in their lane. But others, I
don't know what that means. I want to know who one of those are.
Keep going. Keep moving.
Okay,
Keep moving, Angela.
All right. That was not supposed to be a stumper either.
Okay. Now, there's a lot right there that I want to unpack, as a cool kid say. First of all, that's a question that you shouldn't even be asking Kamala Harris. Because, okay. Now, do you have to know who rappers are to be black? Is that part of it? Is that part of the whole game? Like, you got to prove your blackness? Is that the black litmus test to know who rappers are? She's 55 years old. My mom is not that much older than she is and has never, ever listened to rap before. I mean, she might hear me playing it when I was a kid, but I've never seen my mom, in the house playing some rap music. You see what I'm saying? Like, she's not even in the generations who listening to rap music. You could if you're that age, 55 years old, but that's not really very common. She would know more about the 80s rap, the hip it to the hop. She don't know nothing about no rap. She keeps saying Tupac over and over because remember, she said that before. When she was on the Breakfast Club and they were talking about going to college, listening to rap music and smoking weed. She was like, yeah, I was in college listening to Tupac and Snoop. Meanwhile, they were not even out in the 80s. They were out in the 90s. So that was a lie. She keeps saying Tupac because all she knows. She does not listen to rap. And that's okay. You don't have to be a rap fan to be black. All right. And quite frankly, if you're that age and you're quote unquote black and you're from the black community, you're probably not going to be a rap fan anyway. You're not going to listen to Lil Uzi Vert and Drake and Future and all these people. You're not going to be doing that at that age. So it was a dumb question. And Angela Rye is a clown herself. She's kind of dealing with the identity issue because I feel like both Angela Rye, the host, and Kamala Harris are trying to prove how black they are. Because Angela Rye is barely black herself. Look at her name, Angela Rye. That's Irish. She's 30% Irish. I saw her do a DNA test. 30% Irish. I mean, is that considered black? I'm not really sure. Okay, we probably cousins because my great grandfather was Irish, so we probably cousins. So all of this, is just trying to prove who's blacker than who. It's kind of whack. But anyway, I thought that was funny. Tupac, he's been dead since 1996. He's been dead for a very long time. So that's impossible for him to be a favorite rapper that's alive. He's been dead for a long time. But hey, maybe she knows something we don't know. No, she could have been to Cuba on a secret government mission. She could have seen him down there in Cuba hanging out with Assata Shakur. But different story. I digress. All right. But yeah, these questions, and also that's something else. They're getting the most softball type interviews you could ever imagine. I mean, Kamala Harris and Joe Biden. Your favorite ice cream color, your favorite rapper, stupid stuff. But then they asked Trump, what's your plan to end world hunger in 15 days? That's kind of how it goes. But I'll move right along and get to some super chats here. Thank y'all for being here yet again. Definitely appreciate you guys. Super chats on that. I'll read those and we get to the calls. All right. Is she from Seattle or Oakland? I don't know. Somewhere on the left coast. All right. Let me see. My name is Isaac. Thank you for your donation. My name is Isaac. Became an ABL superstar. Thank you to Threat Level Midnight who says, hi, ABL. I bought my first gun today. It's a Glock 26. Can't wait until Tuesday to pick it up. There you go. Congratulations, man. Hopefully you enjoy the Glock 26. Hey, the Glocks, man, they're beautiful machines, man. Treat it with respect. Practice, shoot, clean it, follow the instructions, be safe. You be all good to go, man. Absolutely. Thank you to Brian Burner for your donation. I appreciate you. Thank you to JL Farley Harris, who says, much love from the Derby City of Kentucky. Sir. Hey, speaking of sir, right quick, before we get to our super chats, there was a guy, one of you guys sent me this on Twitter too. I'm going to try to find it right quick. There was a guy who scammed like $200,000 from Black Lives Matter. Like what he did was set up his own Black Lives Matter branch in Atlanta, and he scammed like 200 grand from that. If I could find it right quick, I'm gonna put it up. Hold on. And the name kind of triggered me. Man, my mentions are a landmine. Oh, here we go. Now, this guy, hold on. Please don't play no sounds. I'm gonna just put it on pause right quick. All right, I'm gonna show you the guy, then I'm gonna read the story. This is the guy right here. So that's the guy right there. You spent $200,000 and BLM donations, and you see him albino, obviously, nothing wrong with that. But let's see what his name is, or the name he goes by. He goes by the name Sir Major Page. That's not even his real name. My question is, were you watching ABL Live and you kept hearing me say Sir over and over again? It's like, you know what? That's a really good name. I'm going to change my name to Sir Major. And Major, if you can't see it on the screen, if you listen to audio only, it says Maejor. Sir Major Page, 32 years old. $200,000 from one guy. But you know what? I got to pause for a moment. How do you appropriately spend BLM money? How do you appropriately spend it? Can we get an audit of the BLM National? Can we get an audit of BlackLivesMatter.com? Can we get an audit of Patrice Colors or whatever her name is? Can we get an audit of those at the very top? How about that? But I digress. His name is actually Sir. So, hey, all I'm going to say is you're going to the penitentiary, but you got a good name. How about that? And let's get to the rest of the super chats. Shout out to Teresa Ann Elizabeth, who said, thank you, Anthony Brian Logan, for always being calm and truthful voice of reason. Thank you for that. I appreciate you. Thank you to John Doe, who says, smash that like. Absolutely. Thank you to Michelle Bryan, who says, ABL, my favorite on the YouTubes. Some coffee, some snacks, and freedom you can't get anywhere else. God bless your show, and God bless the US of A. Thank you for that. I appreciate you. Shout out to Ed2276, who says, hopefully Trump can bring the African-American community back home to the Republican Party where they've always belonged. Hey, that's my hope. That's my goal. That's my wish. That's my constant everyday thing. I think we can get more of us to this side. I'm not sure how many, but we can get some of us. And I think the younger generation, as we start to come along, will have different attitudes. I saw a very positive stat in 2016. It said that 20% of black males under the age of 30 voted for Trump, according to an exit poll. Unfortunately, only 1 to 0% of black women on that same part did the same thing, but we're going to raise that too. So don't even worry about it. We're going to get that back on track. But what I do like is that a lot of men are men and they realize what's best for them. Shout out to Retro Gamer 81, who says, congrats on 750,000 subs, 1 mil in no time. Yeah, 1 mil is coming. 1 mil, that's definitely the goal. 1 million subscribers. That'd be crazy. If you would have said to me back in like 99, 2000 that I'd be right here today, I would have had I couldn't even really see it. Thank you to Christian Edwardson, who says H-Town, how y'all say H-Town, here for your ABL. Thank you for that. I appreciate you. Thank you to Frederick Craig for your donation. Thank you to Tate Smith, who says U.S. flag with the emoji. Shout out to Cutie Smarty, who says, thanks for the information. No problem. That's what I do. Thank you to Hudson Jackson II, who says, I'm surprised not many are even talking about Barbara Lagoa. She should be the president's next choice for the Supreme Court if Barrett is forced to withdraw. Matt Gaetz has endorsed her. Yeah, hey, shout out to her. I'm not sure what happened. He didn't go see her when he could have, so I'm not really sure what happened. But shout out to her. Diplomatic Community says, thanks, ABL, for all your hard work. You have our full support. Please follow us on Twitter and help us get off the ground. I said immunity. So the user headline, the name is Diplomatic Community. If you have an @ name on Twitter, put that in the chat without the web link. So put the @ sign and then your name in the chat so I can see where your Twitter is. Thank you to Eric Burns Marsh, who says the federal government is going to promote financial literacy. Really sounds like the Babylon Bee. Good point. Good point. You got me on that one. I can't say nothing about it. Thank you to MK, who says ABL made a video named Biden 2020 equals elder abuse. It's short. Maybe we could watch it. Search MT for MK Cheese Wedge to find me. That's an interesting name. I'm gonna try to find it. If I have time, I might watch it on stream if I have time. Let me go ahead and just make sure I got it, or I can search for it right quick, and then I'll bring it up later maybe. Thank you to Lily, who says, do you think Trump didn't add BLM in with Antifa and the KKK because he's worried about backlash? I said blacklash, but she said backlash. Do you think he will add them after the election? That's a very good question, because I'm thinking the same thing. Because if you want to make KKK and Antifa terror organizations, so should BLM. It's all the same thing. So he probably didn't want to do that because of the backlash, but it may do it after the election, and hopefully he does. That's what I want him to do, for sure. Add all these groups in there with terror organizations, for sure. All right. Thank you to Justice Smith, who says, I'll cross you up and b-ball, little man. Hashtag no ankles. Hey, if you're young, you tell me the pieces. Because I'm old, man. I'm 36 years old, but don't get this twisted, man. I am a pretty big dude. I'm 6'3". I'm 215 right now. Don't get banged on by the old man with a beard that got gray in it and everything. Don't know how to happen to you, man. It's going to be embarrassing. If you got your girl out there, man, she going to be laughing. So I don't want to do that to you, man. Thank you for your donation. Thank you to Blue North Bear, who says, support good content with a thumbs up. I appreciate you. Thank you to Me versus Earth, who says, Biden tests positive for COVID-19. If he did, I wouldn't be surprised. Do you know that blackface governor in Virginia tested positive for the virus? I think him and his wife got it. How did that happen? You shut the whole state down for months. You still got the virus? How? Tell me. Thank you to, let me see, Deplorable 007, who says, love from Louisville, Kentucky. Shout out to you. Thank you to Beth Speak Truth 7, who says, happy belated birthday, ABL. You're my favorite on YouTube. You and my man, Stephen K. Bannon and crew. Heart 100. Thank you for that. I appreciate you. Thank you to Shelly Richards, who says, what are your thoughts on the debate Tuesday? It's going to be a bloodbath, really. Like I said earlier, it's going to be like Mike Tyson just stomping some random poor soul out in 1986 when he was in his prime. I'm talking about when he was still kind of like in the street a little bit, robbing people. That Mike Tyson versus a random Joe off the street. That's how bad it's going to be. If Joe Biden is not performing well, they should go ahead and forfeit, in my opinion. Thank you to Sharon Glover, who says, if we all just give a little, it will serve to do much. There you go. Great way to look at it. Okay, let me see. Hold on, go back to where I was. Thank you to Jordan T. Russo. I read that one already. Thank you to Bill Earnhardt Nappin, who says, Rogan said that Biden had dementia a month or so ago. Yeah, I think we all can see it. And I did see Rogan say that. Hold on. Anthony Evelyn says, I know him. He's albino. You know him for real? Now, are you just now seeing that whole scamming thing on the show? Or did you already know that? Small world, ain't it? Thank you to Rawson, who says, thank you, ABL, for all you do, keeping us informed. Hey, no problem. It's my job. Thank you for your donation. Thank you to James M, who says, great show. Did you see Whitlock's spoof about BLM today on Outkick? Hilarious video. I did see that with the white guy with the big belly and all of that, eating the chicken, and then the girl was twerking. That was hilarious. Shout out to Justin Whitlock and Outkick. Thank you to Joe Wilfing for the donation. Thank you to Holly T. Lightwork, who says Breonna Taylor could have been a lesson for everyone to not hang around people who will use you and are involved in nefarious activities. There you go. Common sense. Common sense right there. Thank you for your donation and your common sense perspective. Thank you to Not of This World for the arrow emoji. I can't read that. My eyes ain't hitting on 2 cents no more. Thank you to Eric Burns Marsh, who says Rogan's apology reminds me of hostage videos. Soon he will be blinking in Morse code to send messages to his fans. Hilarious. Thank you to Thomas the Conservative, who says, I'm going to my first Trump rally. Hey, congrats, man. Hey, it's going to be nothing but positive energy. Everybody's going to be nice. Everybody's going to be friendly. It's going to be a very positive and uplifting environment for sure. Absolutely. Thank you to Not of This World for the popcorn emoji. Thank you to Abraham, who says, biracial people are always pressured to side with their minority half. Yes. And it's a shame because you should do whatever you want. If you're biracial, you shouldn't have to pick a side. Just be you. Just be you, man. You should be able to do that. Thank you to the Weaver, who says, with the emoji, I appreciate you for that. With the mic drop, I appreciate that. Thank you to GML. I can't pronounce. It's not really a name to pronounce. Love a YouTube channel. Thank you for that. Thank you to Christian23, Allen35, who says ARs or AKs, what's your favorite? I like the AR better because of accuracy and reliability. Plus, you can get everything you want for them in any gun shop. Yeah, AR, definitely. It's like building Legos. Bring back to your childhood, but you got a serious machine. So definitely ARs all day long. AK is more of a, I'm trying to get into a gun battle right now with some Russian soldiers or something. But AR, that's really just fun to be able to mod and kit out. Thank you to Hal Rufner, who said, thank you, ABL. And shout out to Constitution 99, who says, debate prediction, when Biden starts to talk about his hairy legs again, they would cut to commercial. What's up, Chad? Thank you for that. And thank you to Preston White, who says, thanks for the great information and the updates. Praying for everyone. All righty. Great super chats. Now we got calls on deck. You guys know the drill. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. Let me start Skype right quick. If it wants to act properly, that'd be fantastic. Mail-in debating, no way. That ain't really going to happen. You got to be able to call up. You got to be able to be in person. You can't call it in. You can't phone it in or be on Skype or something like that. You got to go ahead and do it. All righty. You know what? I like pistol ARs, but it can be kind of tricky, you know, because I don't want to get into the SBR realm and then have, you know, the federales at my door. So, yeah, it's just kind of weird. No, King, what's happening?
Hey, ABL, man, I got to say, I'm very disgusted by your content lately.
What did I do? What happened?
Well, man, there are millionaires crying right now, and you're busy talking about facts and evidence and accountability. Like, what's wrong with you, man?
I'm sorry, man. My fault. You know, I gotta give the facts, man. Because the millionaires, billionaires, I can't do nothing with them, man. I gotta give the facts first. It's my fault.
You know, years ago, I was foolish enough to live on beans, rice, chicken thighs, saving money for my tuition, balancing my full-time work and my full-time studies when I could have just gotten free money from the government. I don't need that feeling of, you know, accomplishment and working hard. Who needs any of that, right?
Exactly. That's overrated. You know, trying to like build something, you know, build a thing for yourself and not rely upon the government, way overrated.
And that's why I love living here in Canada. Sure, we have a prime minister who has this wee scandal going on that most Canadian citizens don't know or even care about. But
whoa. Weed scandal?
Wee scandal, W-E.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he has this scandal going on, whatever, blackface, who cares, right? Because he wears his mask, he's handsome, he's well-spoken, unlike your mini president down there in the U.S., right? The biggest thing I can't stand about your president is he treats everybody equally. He doesn't focus on the pigment of our skin, right? Like you have that plan for the community. I forget what it's called. You had a video about that. We have that here in Canada, but it's specifically for Black people, and that makes it infinitely better. Okay. And lastly, I was watching Netflix, which is an amazing product. I don't know if you've heard about Cuties, but I was watching something else from Netflix called The Social Dilemma. And they had executives from Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest talking about how social media is going to affect younger children, right? And one thing most of them mentioned was they limit the time that their children use on social media. They promote family values at home. So can you guess what their solution was for everybody else?
What's that?
They suggested more regulation from a left-leaning government. That's just genius. So you just gotta love these people. And speaking of our next president, Mr. Biden, I was watching one of his low-energy rallies, and I was struggling to stay up. He was talking about prescription drugs or something. I don't know what he was going on. And I swear to you, I was actually falling asleep. He was standing in front of a Chevy. If anyone has watched it, they know what I'm talking about. And I'll admit, Trump is more fun to watch. He's accomplished a whole lot more within these 4 years. But it's important to have someone like Biden who's nice, and he wears his mask, ABL. Okay?
Yeah.
So I just want to say thank you very much for giving me this platform to discuss something other than accountability and looking at facts and evidence, because you're brainwashing all of your viewers. Okay, and you might as well just end this show. I know I'm the first caller, but you might as well stop doing what you're doing, because I've roasted you and I've made you look like a complete fool. So once again, thank you very much for letting me on, and I wish you the best, man.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you. Hey, I got roasted, man. He told me to pieces. Yeah, that was no low king. Hey, man. Like I said, I might as well just go ahead and just shut it down, man, because I got roasted. I got torn to pieces, man. So, yeah, shout out to him. But we got to keep the party rolling. We got a whole lot more calls on the line. And if you don't know the number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. And there's also an email to get on through Skype in the description box below. And we'll keep on rocking like that. Let's get to the next one. 414, you're on line. I'm speaking to. Yes, who am I speaking to? 414?
Hey, Coach Isabella, man, from Kenosha, Wisconsin. Let me turn down my computer, man. I'm trying to get in for a minute.
All righty, man. What's happening?
Hey, so first of all, I got a question for you. So, my wife, she's an RN here in Kenosha, Wisconsin, and I drive semi coast to coast. So I have a couple. So I'm a former paratrooper. I did my time in an elite combat unit over in Vicenza, Italy. And so I have a question for you. I'm a huge Trump supporter, and first off, thanks for what you do. ABL, like I look at your content every single day. I'm like, wow, and I share it a lot on Facebook, whatever the case is. So I have a few questions for you. So a pastor friend of mine, Rick Andrews, he asked me the other day, so are you going to vote? He said he was thinking about not voting, and I'm like, and I'm a huge Trump supporter. I watch the thing on Frontline when I'm gone. I normally go off for a month or whatever, so I tape a lot of stuff on cable. And when I get home, I'll watch it. So I watched this thing on Frontline last night. It was 2020 Biden and Trump, and they kind of go up from when they were like when Biden first became senator and Trump as he was a young man, and so on and so on. So it's very, very interesting. So I'm really debating whether I'm going to vote or not. But my question to you is, I mean, you as a huge Trump supporter, myself and my wife and a lot of my friends and family, huge Trump supporters. First off, what's your thoughts on the whole warp speed vaccination thing? Right, that's first and foremost. I'm having a really difficult time with thinking about how he can push the warp speed. First off, my child lives over in Oakland, California right now, transgender, and which I've supported all these years, and just flipped out on the Breonna Taylor thing. So I had to spit some facts to him and say, hey, listen, you know, I listened to this guy ABL on YouTube, so on and so forth, and just went off. I pretty much quoted you verbatim as far as, how, the boyfriend shot through the door, they returned fire, so on and so forth. And my son, which was my daughter.
Okay, hold on. Let's pause for a minute. So
Sure.
your now son, okay, so you had a daughter. That's how your child was born as a daughter, but now they become a man?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Correct. Hasn't gone through the whole operational thing, and I'm from Wisconsin, obviously Kenosha, like I said. And she was born in Milwaukee, Wisconsin when I ETS out of the military in 92. Breaks my absolute heart. I mean, I chose her name when she was 16, Ashley Ann Sibylla. My name is Kurt Sibylla, and my wife is Sarah Sibylla. And he changed his name to Ace Vincenzo Sibylla. So broke my absolute heart, man. So anyway, the other day I got a text. See, Dad, this is exactly what I can see your lips about to say, hold on.
No, you good.
Oh, okay, sorry. I turned on my computer. So anyway, see, Dad, that's what I'm talking about, Breonna Taylor with the cops, and I've had my situation with the police. I'm not a felon. I have a carry concealed. My wife, I taught her how to shoot an AR, blah, blah, blah. We got plenty of weapons. Anyways, and we're kind of preppers. We got food, and we created a bug-out trailer and all this other stuff. So, and I have my own YouTube channel, Kurt Sibylla, which I do some prepping videos on and stuff like that. But anyways, so just try changing my mind, manipulating this. And I said, listen, you will, and I always call my son Kiddo. I said, listen, Kiddo, you will never, ever change my mind politically nor religiously. He's a Trump hater. How can you support this person that hates gays and hates blacks? Listen, man, I got friends of all walks, creeds. I mean, they call me incognito because I could be a white guy that is, that I can speak to like a complete, business person. I can speak to you on the street. I can do whatever the case is. And I tell my boys all the time, like, listen, man, I am who I am, just basically from the root of my soul. And they're just like, how can you do this? How can you do that? So as I thought, I was bawling, man, literally bawling after I got this text. I mean, it broke my heart. So my question to you as a Trump supporter, one thing I've really kind of...
Hold on, caller. I mean, caller, hold on. I'm going to rush you, but we got limited time, so you have to get to your question.
Sure. So how do you feel about the warp speed vaccination, and how do we as Trump supporters, how do we accept this? Because I'm not going to take the vaccination.
I got you. So I'm going to answer, then I'm going to get to my next call. But yes, I'm not really a fan of the whole warp speed vaccination. I feel like they're trying to do something just to calm down the masses because there was so much hysteria out there. People were acting crazy behind this whole thing. They're taking a run on toilet paper and paper towels and air freshener, just stupid stuff. So it was like, okay, we're going to give you this warp speed. It's going to be a vaccination. Everything's going to be okay. I don't think that it'll be out anytime soon. And if they do give the warp speed vaccination, the ultimate plot twist would be it'll give you hydroxychloroquine and the Z-Pack. That's what it might end up being, quite as kept, because they're not really saying. Huh?
Will you take the vaccination?
No.
Okay.
I don't have the flu shot or anything like that. So no, I'm pretty much good. But I have to get to my next call. I have to get to my next call. I'm sorry.
Thank you very much for what you do, man.
Thank you for the call.
Bye.
Yeah, I ain't taking no vaccination. But would it be funny is if they say, all right, the vaccination is a Z-Pack and hydroxychloroquine. That would be just poetic justice, like none other. But yeah. Shout out to the callers. You guys are wild. In the chat, you guys are crazy. I'm like halfway reading the chat and then halfway not. And I might glance and see something crazy that y'all type. Y'all tearing me up. Okay, let me get to the next call here. 630, you're not lying. Who am I speaking to? Hello, 630.
Hey, ABL.
What's happening?
Can you hear me?
I hear you well.
Oh man, I did not know if I got on or not. Make it real quick. Just wanted to tell you, man, I love you, man. No homo. Just man, I watch all your videos you put out, man, and I just want to comment on something that was a little bit off topic. Here in the state of Illinois, in DeKalb County, they just put a law out that stating if you were caught not wearing your mask and social distancing, they will fine you $300. And that's more than a speeding ticket. I can go more. I can speed and get $150 ticket, and you're telling me I got to pay double. So, yeah, I just want to get your opinion on that, and just to also say keep up the good work. And I argue with my family all the time about Breonna Taylor, all the time. They say that she was sleeping. I was like, how do you sleep? I don't think a bullet can go. It goes straight. You know, when you fire your gun, the bullet goes straight. You know, she got hit in the chest mass. She obviously was standing up. She was obviously in the hallway with them. The boyfriend said that she was in the hallway they was together at the same time. So how do I convince my entire family, who was like far left, and convince them? And can you shout out my YouTube channel?
Okay, so your channel. Let's start from the back first. What's your channel?
My channel is Tyrone Mr. Conservative.
Alrighty, so everybody heard that in the chat. Tyrone Mr. Conservative. I'll put that in the description box, well, in the chat box, so everybody can see it. But now, as far as your family, how you can convince them, it's going to be hard, next to impossible, because you have to understand when people are set in their ways, especially adults, you can't really change it. You can't really, forcibly change their mind. But what you can do is, if you must talk about it, if it comes up, be like, hey, here's some documents. If you go to my page or go to Breonna Taylor's page, there's documents, there's court evidence right there. It's like, look, read that. I'm not getting it from my opinion. I'm getting it from the documents. It's not about what somebody said or what somebody believes. Documents are right there. You got phone calls in the jail, people that were there. You get the boyfriend on tape confessing that he shot the police and he's the one that started the whole thing. You got evidence. You got documents that can't be refuted. You see what I'm saying? And then the whole thing about the Daniel Cameron, they could be mad at Daniel Cameron, the attorney general, but it's not even his decision. You got a whole grand jury of peers. So you got a grand jury, you got an attorney general, you got all types of evidence, documents, pictures, videotape, audio tape, all of that. So just use that to draw your conclusion rather than just going off of what the media tell you, because they ain't gonna tell you the full story. They want you to be upset. So that'd be my advice, but it might not go too well if they're not trying to hear you.
Yeah, I tried that. I did try that. I tried, well, check this out. I gave a lady that was in my church, I was like, hey, give her your channel. Hey, check him out. Check out the Taylor Report. I tried that. Then some people, they're like, oh, my church, that's just fake news. You should know a lot about fake news, right? Trump. So, yeah. So about the ticket, about the $300 fine for not wearing your mask. What do you think about that?
That's crazy. That's crazy. Like, I'm not a fan of any kind of mask mandate, whether they try to, make you, give you a fine or something like that. It's just too much. Like here where I live, there's technically a mask mandate, but it's not being enforced. As a matter of fact, the police chief got on TV and said, hey, we're not going to enforce this. The police chief got on TV and said that. So we don't have that enforced here. If they're going to have the mask mandate, let it not be enforced. Thank you, Fatih.
Oh, well, I appreciate it, man. Keep up the good work, man. I know you got a lot of callers, and I've been trying to keep it quick. I've been trying to get on. I got on before, and all the other time, I know, blame the white man. I've been blaming him all the time. Every time I can't get on the phone, I'm just happy to get on before Ivan gets on,
Right, no doubt, man. Thank you for your call.
I appreciate it. God bless.
All right, now. All right, great call. Let's get to the next one here. Let's go 760. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey there, ABL. This is Matthias. I just wanted to call in and how the left is always pushing for the opposite of what Donald Trump is saying, and then they try to flip the switch and then say Donald Trump was wrong and they were the ones pushing for everything right, and Trump wants to give you this bad vaccine and you're gonna die from it. And I just think it's how crazy the left controls the media, and they can push whatever narrative they want, and everybody's like, oh, okay, I'm gonna buy what they're telling me. I'm gonna take a vaccine when probably just gonna kill them. I wanted to get your thoughts on that.
On what specifically? You talking about just the vaccine?
Yeah. I want to know, what do you think they're gonna put in it?
I have no idea. It could be anything. It could be some kind of weird drug to come up with randomly, or what I hope, and the ultimate plot twist is that it's just hydroxychloroquine and Z-Pack. What we were saying from the very beginning. Hopefully, it's that. That's what I want to see. But that's wishful thinking. But if it's not that, even if it was that, I'm not going to take it. So it doesn't really matter to me. But it could be anything in there. Who knows?
Yeah, I was watching some of Alex Jones' show one time, and a caller went on, and he was talking about how his mom and his dad had COVID, and then like his mom and his dad were quarantined, but his mom never got it, and they used what you just said. I don't know the word, I forgot it, but they used that, and he got rid of COVID. And I just think it's crazy how Dr. Fauci, he's like, oh, now you can. I'll suggest that you should take vitamin C and some vitamin D. It's like, these are things that you need, or you'll die without it. It's like they barely want people to know enough stuff to keep themselves alive. What's his name? Joe Biden wanted, he came out and said that 200 million people died. Like, they need to just get him off of the stage. Like, he is losing his brain. It's mush.
Yeah, pretty much.
But that's, and another thing. I'm just gonna say this, but Alex Jones always talks about abortion and a lot of these, like, I'm not going to say crazy conspiracy theories, but some of them, make a lot of sense. Like he said, I forgot the senator's name, but he's the one that did blackface, and he was getting a bunch of hate from it and blah, blah, blah. But then they swept it under their cover and they took control of him, and now they can push whatever narrative they want to about abortion. And he was on a talk show talking about how he doesn't want the government involved in abortion. He wants it to be between a physician and a mother. And Alex Jones was talking about how, like, people that work at these clinics are making millions of dollars. And I just want to know what do you think about that?
Well, abortion is a big time industry for sure. I mean, Planned Parenthood, they say that abortion is only like 3% of the services. That's just a lie. That's just a marketing thing. Their whole bread and butter is abortion. That's where they get all their money. That's why anybody comes to Planned Parenthood is for abortion. So that's the whole thing. They're making plenty of money doing that, and it's a serious industry.
Yeah. Do you think that they're selling their organs and taking their blood and selling that?
Well, yeah, of course. Like that's called they call it tissue. They do sell it. That's a fact. It's already been recorded on camera. Audio, video, and it's not anything that's uncommon. It's a thing that they actually do for sure. So it's an actual baby. They can sell the body parts. Sometimes they just throw the whole baby away. Like, I think it was like several thousand babies found in a dumpster behind a Planned Parenthood or some kind of abortion clinic some years ago in LA. You can Google that to fact check me. But yeah, either they're going to just throw the baby away, or they're going to sell some of the parts. But hey, I gotta say one more thing before we go here. I'm hearing your smoke detector. I need you to change the battery in your smoke detector as soon as you can. Get a 9-volt battery, put it in there, and the beeping will stop. All right.
In my what?
Your smoke detector.
It's not beeping.
I hear it.
Really? That must be something else in my house where my phone's detecting. I have a kind of old phone. It's iPhone 6.
That's what it is. Like, look in the ceiling, you'll probably see it.
Okay.
All right. That's all I got time for now. So
right.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Okay. Thank you, Abel. Have a good night.
No problem. All right. Shout out to the caller. But yes, if you hear that beeping in your house, please change smoke detector battery. Get a 9-volt battery or whatever it is. Go up there, and figure out a way to open it, replace it back, and you get to go. It was something beeping in my house before, and it wound up being the alarm battery. Real crazy. Like, it was a mini earthquake. a super shallow, like I could barely feel the earthquake. And after that, everybody like up and down here had to change their battery on their alarm. It was randomly weird. One of them big batteries. But for your detector, 9-volt battery, it should be pretty much good to go. All right.
See, like it was mini earthquakes.
All right, caller. You on the line?
Hi.
Like,
Hello.
Hello.
What's going on?
Hello. Can you hear me?
I hear you well.
Uh-oh.
So you got your...
Something's wrong.
Okay, now maybe the caller can't hear me. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and hang up. Caller, what you got to do if you're listening to me is you need to go, if you're in Skype, go to settings, then go to audio video, and then go to speakers, and make sure those speakers are what you listen to your audio through normally, and you could do it that way, and we'd be good to go. All right. Let's get to the next call here. 501, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, Mr. ABL, this is Rawson.
All right, man. What's going on?
And I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Everything's good. Can't complain.
I appreciate everything you do. I wanted to tell you that the videos have helped me out a ton in getting like into the political scene. I had 2 questions to ask you if you don't mind.
Go for it.
Okay, so the first one is I wanted to see how you felt on Christians being Democrats, because in my personal opinion, I don't see how any Christian could be. When the Dems support abortion, support closing down churches, the liquor stores are open, they try to ban you from worshiping, but you can riot. I just want to see what your thoughts are on this one.
Yeah, it's a big time contradiction. I don't understand how they really do it. I feel like they kind of get caught up in their anger, and they get caught up in just how they view the world. They kind of justify it in their own terms. You know, if you want to bring up certain things like all the violence that a Democrat Party are pretty much endorsing, and the abortion, and, you know, just general, just kind of deplorable behavior, disgusting behavior that comes from that side, the non-conservative behavior that's kind of, you know, antithetical to Christianity and to religion in general, it's hard for them to really even see it because they've just kind of been brainwashed into believing what they're doing is correct. And you also have the pastors and preachers, the so-called leaders that engage in the same thing. So they think, okay, my pastor's doing it, my church is as well, so it must be right, although it's not.
I agree with you on that. And the second thing is, how do you feel about the Dems and the other like people on the left claiming new things on the virus? Like recently they said like the virus is adapting to social distancing, which I don't know how that is. All the nonsense about it.
That's crazy. They keep making up new stuff every single day. They say it jumps 28 feet. Now it's jumping, I don't know how many feet. It's in the AC unit. They keep coming up with new stuff all the time. I feel like we pretty much know what's going on, okay? It doesn't really matter all the little things they want to say. But you know that if you have, you know, a condition already, then you're going to be at a high risk for it. If you're elderly, you're going to be at high risk. So if you're young, you're relatively healthy, you're not, you know, a crackhead or nothing like that, you should be pretty much good. You might catch it, but it won't be a thing that'll kill you pretty much. So it is what it is. I think they keep making up stuff to continue the hysteria.
I couldn't agree with you more on that kind of stuff.
Right, man. So
thank you for. That's all I really had to ask and stuff.
All right, thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Thank you for the time.
No problem.
Give a good rest of your night.
All right, now. All right, let's get to the next call here. The number to call 434-658-1220. All right, now, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
There we go. So what was it? Did I help you with the sound thing?
It was just a setting.
Okay, gotcha.
I found it.
Gotcha.
Oh, Anthony Brainwash Logan it is tonight. Eh?
That's me.
That was an awesome call. Let me turn you down over here, make sure that we don't, I know the radio delay thing. Anyway, I called to talk about the Dreadhead guy, the guy with the horse. That really made me angry. Yeah, that was crazy. Like, I got sent that a few times. Like, I was seeing him on Twitter trending. I didn't know why. I didn't see the whole thing about the horse on the highway. I didn't see that.
But then when I looked into it, I was like, wow, really? Did he actually do that? And he did.
Yeah, well, I was working on something else, and I happened to catch it on Tim Pool's channel. He wasn't real happy about it either.
Right.
And I'll tell you what, I'd hate to be this guy's children.
Right, exactly.
You heard what I mean? If you read the article, you read what he said about oh well, I treat my horses just like my children. No, you don't.
Right.
And if he beats them like that, my goodness, he should have them taken away.
And for a little bit of context, so people in the chat will understand. Now in Chicago, it's this quote unquote activist by the name of Dreadhead Cowboy. He has, I think, 5 horses. He has had up to 9 horses in his possession, and he has this thing called quote unquote Kids Lives Matter. But he's been at BLM protests with his horse. He'll be in the South Side Chicago, downtown, just riding the horse randomly. So he decided to do a so-called protest on a Dan Ryan Expressway during rush hour with his horse with no shoes on, galloping and or a canter on the actual highway, on the cement, with a flank of like 8 or 9 motorcycles that were, kind of guarding them from the traffic. And he was on the horse for a half hour doing that.
Yeah, well, you left out until the horse was bleeding, and there was also witnesses that stated that he beat that horse several times.
Yes, he was.
Once to get him up.
Right, because he had collapsed. The horse had collapsed because, you on the expressway on cement with no shoes on, you're a horse galloping. You can't do that.
No. You shouldn't have a horse. If you're going to have a horse in an urban situation like that, they should always have shoes. And, even the Kentucky Derby is only 2.5 minutes.
Right. He was doing that for a half hour on the Dan Ryan Expressway.
Yeah. Do you have any information further on whether or not they had to euthanize that poor animal?
I've not heard anything yet about that, but they're saying that the horse won't ride again, obviously. But as far as euthanizing, I'm not really sure. They're saying that they might have to, but I've not heard any update about that.
Yeah, well, I gotta say, the only thing that I haven't heard anybody mention about this yet is the fact that back in, I believe it was September of 2019, President Trump actually signed a bill making what he did a federal offense.
Okay. Yeah.
So,
so he might go away for a while.
Actually, somebody needs to, I guess, notify the feds if they can. They would do it to us.
Right. Definitely.
So, and of course, my other comment was about Joe Rogan. Now, I like Joe Rogan, but I think they might have bamboozled him a bit. Either that or the money that they were offering him was just his price, because I've noticed that, didn't he apologize for something?
Yeah, he apologized.
It was really heartfelt. The Joe Rogan I know would blow weed smoke in your face and tell you where to go.
Right, exactly.
So I don't know. I'm going to miss him. That's all I can say. I'm not paying for that mess.
I hear you.
Anyway, it's great talking to you again. You remember where I'm from, right?
I don't.
That's okay. I'll keep reminding you.
No, I know your channel, but I don't know where you're from in the country, but I know your channel.
Oh, no, that's what I meant. My channel.
Okay.
My channel. That's what I meant. I'm actually from Texas, but
okay.
My channel.
Gotcha.
Here's what I heard.
Yeah, I don't know. When I was searching it, I got it wrong. So here's what I heard, because I was putting here's what I apostrophe VE have heard. Yeah, so.
Right.
Here's what I heard.
I sometimes get a thick tongue. What can I tell you?
Oh, it's all good.
Anyway, I just did a video for a tribute to the notorious RBG.
Okay.
So if anybody wants to check that out, I figured it was the least I could do. Plus, also, too, I've noticed that our Senate is fighting over her at this point, or fighting over her seat at this point. So I thought it was interesting, so I did a video on it.
Okay. Well, yeah, you guys.
And I wanted to say hello and talk about that cowboy guy. We need to tell the feds about that. Like I say, what he did is literally a federal offense now.
Right. Absolutely. All righty.
Okay. Everybody have a great night. I'm going to go have my dinner.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Good night.
All righty. Shout out to the caller. Let's get to some more calls here. And you guys on the drill. The number to call 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. Quick commercial break, right quick. You guys should have the app already for the Trump 2020 app, the official campaign app, because I promoted it before during the show. I have more links to promote because I get a lot of ads that I like, good ads that make sense. I have ads where I promote signing a petition against human trafficking. I have some that promote, being against defunding the police. I got some really good ads. So shout out to you guys out there that have made it possible for me to get those ads. I'll leave it at that. But this one is for the official Trump 2020 app. If you don't have it already, go ahead and download it. And the link will be right here in the chat box and also in the description box. And once you download it to your phone, just verify it with your number and you'll be good to go. You're cooking with gas. Again, the official Trump 2020 app. You can get news straight from the campaign. You can also get volunteer opportunities if you want to be involved with that. Alrighty, let's continue with the show. And we're going to go 404. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, Anthony, Brian, Logan, it's Jason Miller, Fayetteville, Georgia. How you doing tonight? Real quick, I want to give a shout out to all of your followers.
All right, man. Well, everything's good. What's happening?
Well, I got a couple little things I wanted to touch on. I'm here in Atlanta, Georgia, and there's a lot of tension and everything with Trump and everything. So I have hats and everything, but my wife won't let me wear my hat when I go out. When we go out in public, she's worried about it. But we went to Savannah last weekend, and she let me wear my hat going out to dinner and everywhere we went. And I was really, and so was my wife, was just really surprised at how many compliments that I got from not just white people, but black folks too.
Yeah.
And, it was really, really surprising. So, all the people I don't want to get nobody hurt or anything, but test the waters and the silent majority, wants to express their feelings and everything, but they're scared to, but they ought to test the waters a little bit with it.
Yeah. Cause you know what? The issue is that a lot of people are hiding, but they're hiding from each other. It's like, all right, your neighbor supports Trump, but he don't want to show it. You support Trump, you don't want to show it. If you guys put your hats on and go outside, hey, it's like, I know you were a Trump supporter. I'm a Trump supporter too, and it's all good. Now, you may have times where that doesn't really happen, but I feel like if I got on some kind of Trump gear or patriotic gear, it's all good. I get compliments. People, they appreciate it. And it depends on where you are. The airport is the best place. I've gotten pilots that give me compliments, flight attendants of all backgrounds, young, old, different races. It don't matter. You'd be surprised who's out there that supports Trump and does not support the Democratic Party. Very surprised.
Yeah, really the only bad or the nasty looks, I should say, most of them come from like the younger, pasty white, pale kids.
Yeah.
With purple hair, black hair, and purple hair with a chain on their belt loop to their wallet,
Yeah.
Just those pasty ones. But, I was really surprised at how much support that I got, people coming up in restaurants and everything. And I just thought I might want to, let your listeners know, no, it's all right. Test the waters. I don't want nobody to get in no trouble, get hurt or anything, depending on where you're at. But, try it a little bit.
Right. That's good advice, man.
Yeah. All right, ABL, love your content as always. You've had some unique callers in here tonight for sure.
Oh, definitely. Absolutely.
Yeah. Trump 2020. Y'all stay up. Oh, and you know what? I wanted to hit on this. The vaccine that they've got a for sure vaccine coming out. Win, lose, or draw for Trump, November 4th. Corona's going away.
That's right. Exactly.
That's win, lose, or draw, no matter if he wins or loses or what, which we all know that he's not going to lose. But even if he was, no matter what, coronavirus, it's still out there. I believe that, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I think that it's way, way overrated. And you know what they're doing? It's just, I don't believe there's probably been anything ever politicized as much as this has been.
That's right. Absolutely, man. I thank you for your call. Definitely appreciate you.
Thank you. Y'all have a good one.
I know. All right, great call. And you guys know the drill, the number to call 434-658-1220. If you like the video, please give the video a thumbs up, share it, do all that good stuff. All righty, who am I speaking to? Oh, I see you guys now. Hey.
David Knight, man. David and Miss Lisa, how you doing tonight, bro?
Everything's good. How about yourselves?
Oh, we good, man. Sitting around this old shop with daggum dogs. I don't know if you can see the picture. I got a rifle in the back.
Yeah, I see that. See you got a little toy in the back. I like that.
Toy in the back. Okay, good. Hey, man, I just, talking about our new justice, Miss Barrett, that will be. You've heard the media talk, bull crap, all this crap. Trump doing this right here at the end of his term. And Obama, how the Republicans fought him in the Senate not to do it. But nobody seemed to mention that was Obama's 8th year. He would not have a choice after the election.
Right. And see, the thing is, though, if they had the Senate back then, they would have done it. They don't care. They say all this now, but they had no choice back then. They had to just do what we did because they did not have control. We did.
Yeah, that's right, man. Hey, and I'm just glad he's moving, and the Senate's gonna move on it. Mm-hmm. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. Period. The poor lady's gonna take a beating. I have a feeling, but
And also, when you vote for a president, you're voting him in to serve his 4 entire years. This has happened towards the end of the 4th year, but he still was voted in.
He's our president.
He's the president, and he does have the majority in the Senate. Mm-hmm.
That's right. I mean, even Ruth Bader Ginsburg herself said that. She said that back in 2016. She said that the president is elected for 4 years, not 3 years. So if she said it herself, then why would anybody be against what's going on right now after she has passed away?
You right on right there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Hey, man, about that horse deal, I haven't had a chance to watch your video, but I got my notification on YouTube, whatnot, and it reminded me of an old movie of Robert Redford and a horse back in the late 70s, maybe. I don't know if you're familiar with that. A long time ago, but I guess it's kind of crazy. I need to watch your video before I say a whole lot about it.
Well, did you enjoy any college football today, Anthony?
I've not had time to watch any football today.
Okay. I didn't know if you were watching college football. I'm not doing any professional, but I think the college kids seem to be acting okay.
Well, that's good. That's good. I like to see that. I think we can, preserve something, because I do enjoy watching the sports, but they got so much of the Black Lives Matter, all that kind of stuff involved in it. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see any politics, really. I just want to enjoy the game.
I hear you.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Hey, man, I'm sorry we forgot to tell you happy birthday on Wednesday.
Oh, it's all right. Thank you all. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
Hope you had a good one. And I'm a real big Auburn fan, and I really like who's that? Charles Barkley.
Yeah, Charles.
And Shaquille O'Neal. I really like what they're doing. So hopefully some young boys will look up to them and see what they're saying. And
their Georgia guy Herschel's come out.
Yeah, Herschel.
Yeah, Herschel.
Need both to come out.
And the thing with Herschel is, if you read up on his history, I mean, he come from the barest means where I don't think he had shoes. I mean, he was very poor.
Yeah.
I mean, he's an amazing person to listen to. But anyways, we're enjoying your show.
His history's something else.
Mm-hmm.
Heck of a guy.
Yep.
Hey, man, have a good one. Thank you for taking our call, and keep on doing what you're doing, man.
I thank y'all for the call. Definitely appreciate you guys.
Yeah, bro.
All right,
bye-bye.
now. All right. Great call as always. I would have put him in a picture, but it's not working. Like, OBS is really temperamental. Sometimes it'll work to put the picture down here. Sometimes it doesn't. It's just got to, it's roll of the dice. It could be the monitor. I don't know. I might upgrade these monitors, maybe. But we'll get to some more calls. 314, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, hello?
Yes, who am I speaking to?
Hi, you're speaking to Miles Davis. Hey, I was looking. I saw the story you were talking about earlier. I saw it earlier with the guy who was the BLM activist down in Atlanta, Georgia. I just saw it on TatumReport.com. I saw the notifications, and my first reaction is how ironic. And this guy has the nerve to impersonate a police officer and get busted for it multiple times. How crazy is that?
Yeah, I mean, people, you got some crooks out there that don't really care too much about the law. It's like, hey, I'm gonna just do whatever I want to do and keep getting caught over and over again. It's crazy.
Yeah, and you know something? This is not the first time I've heard about people who are with Black Lives Matter who want to defund the police getting busted for crimes. Because I read about a story where a guy who was a child offender who got busted for child porn a couple months back. They say he was also with BLM, and he also was with the defund the police movement. He got busted for having child pornography.
Yep, that happens. It's a lot of that going on actually, because remember out there in the Cal Rittenhouse situation in what was that in Milwaukee, where the people that he shot, one of them had a sexual offense record on his books. The other one he was a felon. Like you got a lot of criminals with crazy records involved in these movements, which makes sense because lawless people generally have a pattern of being lawless. So it's not even surprising to me.
Yeah, and it's not. And the thing about it is, like, when I tell people that support a lot of BLM movements, I got into this little, not debate on Facebook, but the one person said to me, you know, you're entitled to your own opinion. I said, it's not my opinion, it's facts. Most of these people are not good people, they're criminals. Because why would you want to get rid of the police? And if, not that this will ever happen, but if it were to happen, it's just going to be a rising crime, like you were saying earlier. With all the rich, quiet communities, they got their own private security. They need to just be quiet and worry about their own lives. Don't tell us poor people how we should live. And, you know, not poor people, but like people who are not rich like you guys, who have their own private security. Don't tell us how our communities are and whatnot. You know what I mean?
Right. Absolutely.
And another thing I wanted to say, I talked to a few BLM protesters. It was like 5 of them around our area like 2 weeks ago. I said to them, they said they're trying to protest against the white man. I said, so let me get this straight. You're justifying burning, looting, and all that, let them loot and all that stuff? Because he actually thinks that looting, targets, and all that stuff, they're hurting the white man by destroying all these major corporations. I said, no, you're not hurting the white man, because you got to look at it this way. You're hurting black people because the people who work there, the white man is rich. He's got all these businesses in rich areas. He's doing y'all a favor by putting these businesses in poor areas as well. But he could just collect his insurance money and build it somewhere else in another rich community, and he's still going to make money, and meanwhile, y'all don't got nothing, if that was the case. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's what I said to him, and he didn't really have no defense after that. He just...
I mean, what can you say? Because you're right about that. They don't get it. They don't understand. They think they're doing something noble by tearing stuff up. But all they're really doing is just destroying jobs for them. And the people that have the money, they're going to be the ones that will be okay after this. They'll be able to pack up, move somewhere else, and do what they're going to do.
Exactly. And then that's just going to make y'all look even worse, because y'all look like, and I said to them, y'all making black people look even worse, because y'all look like crybabies. Like, y'all don't get y'all way, y'all throwing tantrums. And then it's like, and then what really makes me mad about this BLM nonsense, how dare you say we read their what was their statements? Their statements of what they want white, quote unquote, white people to do, even though there's all rich people, all nationalities. So that's another insult right there to black people. Oh, white people are only rich people out here. I was like, no, there's also blacks, like Lil Wayne, LeBron James. They're black, they're rich. Hello. But sorry, let me get on real quick. They said they were they were saying stuff like white people give up their list of demands. White people give up your homes and let black families go live in them, and just all that kind of nonsense. And my thing is, you can't get out and go work, but they don't want to do that. That's what the thing is.
Right. It's kind of dumb. And then the thing about it, if it's about white people this, white people that, then, I mean, most of the people that are out there so-called protesting for BLM are white. So they're talking to themselves. It's like, just practice what you preach. Maybe, just maybe, it's not about this whole white this, white that. Maybe not everybody white has money. Maybe it's about people just wanting something for nothing, trying to engage in general chaos and lawlessness, rather than going out here and working for something that they get and living life like everybody else that's a law-abiding citizen.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. And I'm starting to see that common more and more and more. It's mostly white people and Black Lives Matter movements. And I was like, wow, this is just getting extremely cringy.
Right. I'm with you, man.
It's cringe-worthy. And one more thing before I hang up.
Well, I got limited time, so it got to be real quick.
All right, real quick, yeah. And I said, okay, well, the celebrities, especially LeBron James, like, I was like, you know what, the football guys, they seriously need to also be quiet, because it's not only do they not know what they're talking about, they're making things worse, because, like, they're spreading a false narrative. They had Jacob Blake on the back of their helmet. I was like, wow, I bet I think one of the football players did a few research, and he was like, I'm not wearing his name on the back of my helmet.
Right.
He was charged for sex. He was a charged sex offender.
Right, exactly. Right on point, man. Hey, thank you for your call. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, have a good one.
Great call. Hey, somebody says, what if I had the initials BLM? I'd change that. I rearrange it. I changed my middle and my first name. I'm not going to be BLM. Let's get to the next call. 860, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hi, ABL. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Can't complain. About yourself?
Pretty well now that I'm talking to you. That was like 192 phone calls in, but we made it.
Yes, indeed. I'm glad you're able to make it.
Well, thank you. So I have a question for you. I know that you're probably not a lawyer, but you're very intelligent, so hopefully you got some pearls of wisdom to share with me. I am a street preacher, and we go out there. We have a permit for sound where we live, and we have a group of Christians that come out, and I was listening to someone, I forget who, that said that, and I don't know if I got my facts misconstrued, but I thought they said William Barr said that it's our constitutional right to, when we're on public property, not follow some of the ordinances that are unconstitutional, and they're an overreach by our local governments. And I was wondering if you had any sort of clarity that you could shed on that, because I had a young man say to me, well, what part of that violates our constitutional rights? And at first I made a joke. I said, if we're wearing a mask, we don't have the right to speech. We don't have the freedom of speech. And, when I thought about it later, I thought, I don't know what part of that violates our constitutional rights. I certainly don't want to give an inch of our freedom to anyone who's tyrannical. And I feel like maybe we've been conditioned as sort of soft, generations of Americans that had lots of, we've received so much, ease and comfort from, the backs of our fathers, that we can't conceive, a country that, is maybe starting to take away some of our freedom. Our founding fathers, if, the government started acting the fool, they were on them, they were throwing tea in the harbor. But for us, it's hard to picture, what is that government overreach? What is that point where the government is doing something wrong with the mask mandate? How is that not constitutional? So that's my question.
Well, I don't know about the law as far as the Constitution or anything like that. I don't really have a lot of insight on that. so I couldn't really answer. But
Okay.
if there's some lawyers out there that could really, dive into it and answer, I think we should, take a look at it, because it's definitely some violation there. But I just don't really know what it would be as far as what the legal recourse would be.
Yeah, I mean, I was trying to figure that out as a average Joe, like I'm not a lawyer also, and I do want to take a line in the sand, and say, no, you're not going to take our rights unnecessarily. We're not going to, lay down and just say, here you go, let's hand our freedoms off, inch by inch. But at the same time, I don't want to knowingly break the law. So I guess, maybe if anyone is a lawyer out there, and maybe they could shed some light on that, that would be appreciated.
Right. Yeah, that'd be great. So,
but that was, yeah. I feel like it's very important for us to fight to hold on to whatever freedoms we enjoy in this country, because, there's so many places in the world that it's illegal to be, a Christian, or it's illegal to have an opinion. Like I think of the billionaire in China who was criticizing the government for their handling of the coronavirus, and he was put in prison for 18 years, I mean, we take these kind of freedoms that we have for granted, and we really have to guard them and make sure that, we're not breaking the law unnecessarily, but we're also maintaining our freedoms, and I think of Thomas Jefferson or Benjamin Franklin. I don't know who said it, but they said in a nutshell that if we are, afraid to stand for our freedom for the sake of security and safety, I think they said, we don't deserve those things. And, I don't know, maybe this whole thing will really challenge us to not only be thankful for our freedom that we have in this country, but to possibly have to defend it. So, and, we really, as a nation, need to turn to Christ and, call upon his name and ask him for help for sure. So.
Absolutely. Well, I thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Thank you. And I watch you every day and enjoy you very much. And thank you for all your insight. So God bless you.
All right. God bless. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All righty. Let's get to some more calls. Let's go. 712, you're on the line. What's speaker to?
Hey, ABL. This is Alan from Iowa.
All righty, man. What's going on?
Hey. I suppose you probably did hear that President Trump picked a Supreme Court person. I'm kind of thinking in my mind, okay, what are the Democrats going to go after? Let's see, Amy Barnett. Well, let me see. First, I guess she's white. So that'd be, well, I mean, I'm just saying that'd be underneath race. Discrimination of law is race, gender, and religion. Second, she's a woman. Of course, she's a mother of seven, excuse me. And let me see. Oh, and worst of all, she's a Catholic, And then fourth, let me see. She adopted, or I should say rescued, 2 children from Haiti, probably from the Clinton Foundation. Let's see. Fifth, she's a graduate top of her class from Notre Dame College, law school. Oh, and how dare she's pro-life, We have to, we can't have one of them people in there, so how do you figure that they're going to go after her?
They're going to try to do the whole thing with, they try to attack her religion and basically for being pro-life, because they say that she's going to, repeal Roe v. Wade, which is a good thing, but they're going to try to attack her on that.
Yeah, that's what I figure too, so, but, I also think they're going to go after, I mean, they've already kind of made a policy on it, basically, in a way, of, color for everybody. I mean, basically, especially me, I'm a white male, so, I mean, I'm no good. I'm I guess, Bible-thumping, gun-toking, deplorable. Mm-hmm. So, and I look at this woman's she's got some good qualifications, to me. So, I think we need to also, as conservatives and even Republicans and even independents need to look at this woman's qualifications. I think she has some dang good qualifications, you know. So, I mean, I already heard something about they don't think the adoption was real or some darn thing like that. I've heard some stories on that, and I'm like, oh, come on. You're going after somebody that, to me, is fully qualified. So what I would like, I mean, I know last time I talked to you about we need to call like Mitt Romney, and I guess I took a big hit from a lot of your, a lot of people that are texting in there saying, oh, God, he's a rhino, and and I said, we need to call our representatives and let them know that, hey, this is a good pick. The power of phoning in and even prayer can help a lot. So I urge people to call your senators and say, hey, we want her to go through. Now, I don't want to see a big thing like Kavanaugh, what happened to him. There's a lot involved in this one, and I believe this is a good choice. She seems, I listened to her, she's very articulate, and basically I want to suggest people to call their senators up and say, hey, let's get her pushed through. So ABL, your listeners are and people that call in are great. You have a great platform. I love what you do. I know I also called you one time. You came down on yourself, basically, that you're feeling down, and I said, don't feel down. Keep going. And you make me proud to be an American by listening to you. So this old veteran here is going to salute you and keep up the good work. And our country is important to me and to my children and to my grandchildren and to your children, future children later on. So with me ending with that, ABL, you have a good evening, and I love to hear your callers. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
You bet.
All right, we got some more calls on the line. The number to call, 434-658-1220. There's also an email in the description box below if you want to do Skype. 240, you're on the line. I'm speaking to. Yeah, so I'm speaking to 240.
Hey, how you doing, ABL? JB, what's up, brother?
Everything's good.
You a hard brother. You a hard man to get in contact with now, brother. But I'm proud. But I'm glad it's that hard to get in contact because you deserve. You put a lot of work in on YouTube, and you earn the right to have people press to get online with you and be on hold for hours and hours and hours. But I want to say, oh yeah, congratulations on getting married. Did you get married? I seen it on Facebook. Did you get married or no?
Yeah, I did.
Not true. Congratulations, my brother. Welcome to the Sucker Club, brother. But I will say congratulations on that, and keep all the good work up, and you have a lovely bride.
Oh, thank you.
Well, but I'm sorry, I mean, put your business out there. I ain't put your business out there.
No, you good. You good. Don't worry about it.
Okay. But anyway, I want to say that, yeah. But like I say, Trump 2020, he got it in the bag. And what I'm starting more and more is when he passed that big $1 billion proposal for black-owned businesses, he's changing the game with it. He's killing it. Don't you think so?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And what people understand is that the more he does this, people saying, is he really racist? If you got to question it, then more than likely he's not. You get what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to explain to a lot of people, that a racist don't do stuff that he does. Am I lying, ABL?
Nah, you on point. You're definitely on point.
Yeah, and then you got these people like Angela Rye and Kamala Harris, and they sit around talking. The lighter you are, the more you got to prove how black you are. And I don't like that. If you black, you ain't got to prove how black you are. You do what you are in this world. A smart person, who cares? If you're black, you're black. And then they go around saying, say her name. I ain't saying her name. I don't give a damn. Forget Breonna Taylor. I think she's a criminal any damn way. I don't deserve to die, but hey, she's a damn criminal. I'm sorry, baby. You get what I'm saying?
Nah,
everybody's saying, well, you need to praise her. I ain't praising nothing, okay? George Floyd. Sorry he died, but I ain't praising him. The man was clearly on drugs. You see that? Did you see the body cam of him?
I saw it.
The man was missing teeth, like he was dead. He like walking dead. And I'm just telling everybody, if everybody gets mad when I say something, I'm like, look, we in the black community, we have got to stop moralizing criminals. We're the only race who will moralize the ignorant of people ever in the world. And we gave this man 5 funerals. ABL, 5 funerals, and he had a gold casket. A gold casket? Martin King have a gold casket. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry, chat room. Forgive me, but I'm a little passionate about this. I think it's ignorance to do this. And then, and the big thing in D.C. now is what they're doing is they're just breaking in restaurants, destroying stuff, and then say Black Lives Matter. And the cops never show up for anything. Like the cops really sat there and watched somebody break a window, and they were scared to go in on it. That's how bad it's getting in D.C.
That's crazy.
Isn't it crazy, ABL?
It is.
I'm sorry, ABL. My bro, I ain't talking to a while, bro, man. But hey, did you beat Ghost Kakashi yet?
Yeah, I beat that.
How you like your Avengers? I'm thinking about getting it, but I'm kind of scared on the fence about it, brother.
Nah, it's not all that. I played the demo. It's not all that.
Okay, and then there was a little funny looking character from where's she from? Middle East. Nobody ever heard of her. She's the main character because she's a female. What? I've never heard of this character. Have you? You know what I'm talking about? The main. What's her name? She has the powers of Mr. Fantastic, which is not original when you think about it. But you know, I
Kamala Khan.
Yeah. What the hell makes her so special?
Because she a woman.
Exactly. You see what I'm saying? Hey, ladies, I'm not against women, but if you have some special new powers, you better be the baddest of everything. I'm just saying. You like a character from the Impossibles. What? I mean, come on. I don't know Marvel character, a little cheesy looking. She covers her eyes up with a what they call it? It's a cheesy looking costume. Am I lying?
Now you want it.
All right, wait, B. I'm not gonna hold to your time, brother, man. Congratulations on everything you're doing, bro. Keep success up, brother. By middle of April, bet $1 million. How much you want to bet? We're close to $1 million now, right?
Yeah, I'll be at $1 million pretty soon. Yeah, so we'll see.
Yeah, man. Hey, man, keep the good work up, brother, man. And when you gonna run for office, man? Stop BSing, brother.
I don't know, man. People keep asking me that, so I may have to do it sometime soon. Who knows when it's gonna be though?
You know what I'm saying, though? Hey, man. Look, man, please do, brother. Please, you need to do it, brother. We need more black conservatives who are black conservatives and look like black conservatives. You know what I'm saying? We don't need these little wannabes. And I saw before we get off, did you see the View one? Those are some of the most ignorant women with no sense on the View.
What happened on the View? Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
I was like, did you really say you're not black? You're not black either. You're Mexican. You're not black either. I mean, we can go there all you want to. And then Joyce Bam, the black company on us, hey, gave me props. No, he didn't. You're ignorant. You're ignorant. I'm sorry, Joyce. You're ignorant as hell. I'm serious. So let me say it out loud. Sorry. They're all ignorant. A bunch of cranky old women who husbands don't love them. That's how you know the husband love them. Look at them. They're always mad all the time. That's how you know a happy marriage. Remember, ABL. If your woman walk around with that kind of attitude, she ain't happy. The View women. All right, ABL. You have a nice one. Talk to you later, brother.
All right, man. Appreciate you.
Bye. All right, bye.
All right, good call from my man JV. All right, Tariq, what's happening?
Hey, ABL, what's going on, bro?
Everything good, man. Can't complain.
Yeah. Just to talk about this word hypocrisy is going around. You know, the Republicans are being called hypocrites for not wanting to wait until after the election to vote for a Supreme Court justice. And you know, there's two things that make this stupid. You know, with the Obama era, there was a Republican Senate and a Democrat president. So, of course, the Senate is not going to approve an Obama judge. And, you know, it would be the exact same way. Let's say if Trump wins, let's say miraculously Trump wins and the Senate is Democrat. They're not going to approve of any Supreme Court judge for Trump. That just shoots them on the foot. And Democrats, you know, we all know if this roles were reversed and the Democrats had control over the Senate and the presidency, oh, you better believe they fast-tracking that judge. Like, you know, bro, I can't think of one time the Democrats ever compromised for Republicans. It's always, like, Trump can't even get his wall bill, bro. They will shut the country down for illegal immigrants. And I'm sick of, you know, Republicans being told by Democrats of all people to be moral. You know what I'm saying? And, herein lies the problem I have with Susan Collins and Lisa Murkowski. I can't stand these Republicans because it's like, are y'all blind? Like, how do they ignore the fact how Democrats treat them? It's like both of them sat through Brett Kavanaugh, bro. Both of them sat through it. Both of them sat through the media painting this man out to be a rapist. Both of them sat through the Democrats, believing Christine Blasey Ford, who I believe is a liar. I don't believe anything what she says. And ruining this man's life. Like, seriously, Brett Kavanaugh, had he not won, bro, I think his life would have been over. I think he would have been tarred and feathered as a rapist. And it's like Lisa Murkowski voting no. It's like almost as she didn't care. Now, Susan Collins, I give her a pass, but the fact that they're having these reservations now, it just pisses me off because they're not understanding Democrats being a power play and they're trying to play fair. And Mitt Romney, I am shocked. I'm very shocked at Mitt Romney. I still think that Trump needs to be careful with Mitt Romney because Mitt Romney he's a stone cold rhino to me, and I feel like Mitt Romney will. I don't know. I just feel like if Trump says something bad, he can flip. But so that's the one thing. But the second thing of the hypocrisy is, if I was a Republican and they would throw the hypocrisy argument at me, I would say, okay, well, when Tara Reid came out against Joe Biden and said that Joe Biden raped her, why didn't y'all believe her? Where's this believe on women? Every single senator on the Democrat side sided with Christine Blasey Ford and said she was telling the truth and we should believe all women. Not even that, bro. It went even further than that. Every Democrat celebrity, you got Alyssa Milano and people like her, and the New York Times, they're all writing these articles giving Christine Blasey Ford, she's telling the truth. But then when it comes to Tara Reid, bro, they don't even want to talk to her, bro. Oh, she's lying. Oh, she's working for Trump. So don't sit there and call us hypocrites when you guys behave like hypocrites every single time to get power. So yeah, bro, like I'm shocked. I want the Republicans to push through. They will get a lot of media heat, but man, it's about power, man. We're not playing fair. We want power in the Supreme Court. And the other thing I want to mention was Daniel Cameron. Have you seen black liberals talk about this man's white wife and he's a sellout because he's married to a white woman?
Yep, I've seen that.
And it's this, bro, and this is why, black liberals, bro, like you cannot take these people seriously. And it's like, it's getting frustrating, bro. I feel like black liberals watch too much TV. They came up with the statistic that black people consume the most media, and I'm honestly thinking they're talking about black liberals, bro. Because I'm like, how can y'all talk about Daniel Cameron and his white wife but fawn over Kamala Harris? It comes to the point, bro, where when Kamala Harris campaigns, bro, where's her husband? Why doesn't she show her husband? Because she understands that some people in the black community may be turned off. So she hides her husband. But you got this man and his wife, and it's like you want to ignore Kamala Harris and her white husband and focus on Daniel Cameron, bro. And this are the things that make, when people see this, bro, from the outside, they start thinking that there's something dysfunctional going on with the black community. Is because we don't have standards. It just feels like anything goes. As long as they're a Democrat, Biden, you can insult black intelligence. You can interview Cardi B and talk about black issues with a woman who talks about WAP, and you're interviewing her instead of come on a show like this, like maybe let me win some black conservatives over, or even interviewing a Cornel West, bro. So yeah, man, like that type of stuff just angers me. How the hypocrisy of the black liberal to talk about Daniel Cameron's wife. And the one thing I respect about Daniel Cameron is, and you don't see this in a lot of black men, sadly, is he wasn't emotional up there, bro. Like, he spit the facts, you know what I'm saying? Stood hard on his ground. He wasn't crying like LeBron James. Oh, whoa, it's so hard to be black. And like, I respect when I see black men like that, bro, because I don't see too many black men who can speak facts like that, stand strong in their square, and don't back down, man. And just one more thing, and I'm about to leave, bro. what did you think? Have you seen that ad with the take your booty to the polls?
Yeah, I saw that with the strippers in Atlanta. Yeah.
Bro, now they're trying to say that's not a Democrat thing, but the problem is it was somebody working for a BET doing that. And pretty much, bro, I can't imagine no conservative doing that. No, I'm not going to put that on Republicans. That is a Democrat thing. And what black men have to wake up to see is that this is how these people view you. They will view you as idiotic perverts, where the only way to get you to even care about politics is to show black women half naked stripping. That's it. You are not worth anything else. You are thirsty to them. You are not someone to take serious. But if we want to get you to vote, we're going to go in the most gutter way and put naked women. That's the only way that we're going to take you serious. And I hope black men wake up this election, bro. And that's pretty much all I got to say, man.
All right. Thank you for your call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right. Take care, man.
All right. Peace. Great call from Tariq. Excellent call. Now, towards the end, what he was talking about, there was a ad released by somebody with these strippers, like in their stripper outfits, half naked, talking about going to vote, go to the polls, all this and that. So basically they're saying, hey, you like butts and whatnot, don't you, black man? Well, look at these butts and then go vote because they said so. We can't just put out an intelligent article, a video, or we can't just go campaign. We can't send Joe Biden to the community and talk to you. Nah, we gotta get these strippers to tell you to go vote. And you already know who they want you to vote for. You understand what I'm saying? They want you to vote for liberal Democrats. So they're talking to you to get you to vote for liberal Democrats. Is that how they respect you? Imagine if Trump were to put out a commercial like that towards the black community. Imagine all types of racists and you think we're dumb, all this and that, but they could put it out on their side and it's fine. It's cool and it's hip. I saw people making excuses for it. Oh, you need something like that. These young boys don't know. So look at what the people that have these platforms, these media platforms think about you. They think that you're just kind of insignificant and you're not worth giving an intelligent pitch to. That was a crazy commercial. All right, let's go to some more calls here. All right, unknown caller, who am I speaking to?
Hey, what's up? It's me again.
Who's this? Who am I speaking to?
Zach.
All right.
Oh, it's Zach.
What's going on?
So I just wanted to. I had a few things. One real quick. I want to know if you saw what Ice Cube said today. He said something that he might vote for Trump if Trump fulfills his black agenda thing. His like a contract for black Americans. I wonder if you saw that. I thought that was pretty interesting.
No, I didn't see it. But
yeah, I saw it on Facebook. I thought it was pretty interesting. Another thing I wanted to say is about Amy Coney Barrett. As a pro-life person, it's going to sound weird, but I don't think that repealing Roe v. Wade is a good thing at all. Because as a person, I think that abortion is terrible and is murder in my opinion. Though a lot of people on my side, since I'm a left-wing guy, find that to be kind of shocking. I just think that it should not be repealed. It's the law of the land. That's what it is. And I'm saying you do you. If you want to get an abortion, that's your life. I'm not going to manage your life. I don't care what you do with your life. So I just think it's stupid that someone's going to get rid of it. She's anti-LGBTQ. She's anti-healthcare rights. I mean, this is just a despicable person.
Whoa. Hold on. Slow down. So let's talk about Roe v. Wade first. So if they repeal Roe v. Wade, do you know what the result of that is going to be?
I don't know the specifics, no.
So why would you be against her repealing it if you don't know what's going to happen?
Well, I know that that's about abortion rights. I mean, I'm not for it, I'm not.
But hold on,
but
wait a minute. Rights. If you don't know what's going to happen, why would you be against it? You got to know what's going to happen. Like you can't just say I'm against it and then not.
Abortion.
Huh?
Wouldn't it make abortions illegal?
No.
Like that's what it would do.
No. So you got to get your facts right. What happens is, it would go back to the states. So each state would be able to say if they're going to have abortion or not. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
So if you want to kill babies in California, then go for it. If Californians vote and they say, okay, we want to kill babies here, then they can do that. That's what Roe v. Wade is. You see what I'm saying? Okay. So how you feel about that now? Now that I've told you about what it is, how you feel about it now?
I think that I'm not saying it's really up to the states. I'm just because then there's states like more red states that are going to ban it, and then that means that specifically people of color and low-income people, they're not going to be able to get that procedure.
So we can't. So basically, you're upset because black folks can't kill their babies.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that.
You just say that.
I'm just saying that. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm not for abortion in any instance, at all. But I would not go legislate people's body just like I wouldn't legislate two gay people want to get married. I'm not going to tell them what to do with their bodies.
Well, it's not their body. It's a baby in the body. It's a baby.
I understand that. I get that. I think you should be in jail if you get an abortion. But if I ever ran for office, I would say I am pro-life in my personal life, but I will legislate what my constituents want. If my constituency is pro-choice, I'm going to do it what they want because I want.
So if they're pro-life, then what? If they're pro-life, then what?
Then I'll support them too.
All right, then. So that's what Roe v. Wade is. That's what Roe v. Wade is. You just explained it right there. Wait. If your constituency says, "Hey, we want to have, no abortion. We want to make, abortion outlaw," then they get it. It's a state issue. You just said it right there. So we're on the same page. You agree with me?
You're right. It depends on my constituency.
Exactly. That's what we're saying right now. Your constituency is your state. So if the constituency says, "Hey, we want an abortion," then you got it. If they don't, then you don't. It's easy.
Okay, yeah. Okay, you're right. And then one more thing. Charles Barkley. So I think he's completely wrong. I've watched a lot of things. I think he's wrong. I've watched a lot of people talk about Charles Barkley saying Charles Barkley's crazy. What he said is not true at all. He's not. He's just he's lazy intellectually. He's not thinking. He's a guy that's got all this privilege. He's not thinking. That's not his wheelhouse. That's not his wheelhouse politics. That's not his wheelhouse. I come in for sports commentating. I don't come for his political views. I just find it really weird that this man who claims to be a Republican, who's never voted a Republican in his entire life, I just think it's kind of weird that he's saying all this crazy BS.
Well, hold on. Let's wait a minute. How do you know how he's voted?
Because he said this. He's admitted. He said, "I've never voted for a Republican in my entire life. I've only voted Democrat."
Okay. Now, how do you know, what did he say that was wrong?
The whole thing about what had happened, Yes, he said that, yes, it's sad that she died. And this isn't like George Floyd. We can't always be blaming the cops here. I'm not saying you got to blame every cop, but the cop was at fault here. I mean, the cop was 100% at fault here.
Well, why was the cop at fault?
Because he did not have justification to kill a person who was sleeping in their bed.
That's not what happened.
I mean, what happened?
See, if you're gonna say a thing, is wrong, you got, wait, sir, listen. If you're gonna say a thing, you got to understand the facts. You got to have the facts of the case. This ain't for me just making my wait, sir. I'm talking. You got to have the facts of the case. Now, what happened was she was not in the bed sleeping. She was up out of the bed in the hallway right next to her boyfriend. What the boyfriend did was shoot the police officer in his leg, almost killed him, and then the police returned fire. The boyfriend ducked out of the way and saved himself, didn't save her, and she got shot because the police returned fire after the boyfriend shot. The boyfriend is the reason why she died. If the boyfriend doesn't shoot the police, then they just go execute the search warrant and everything is fine. He shot the police. He made it happen. It's his fault, not the police's fault.
I mean, I would have shot the cop too. If someone
but check it out. But check it out though. If you do that, now you face the consequence. If you want to shoot them and they got the legal right based upon the search warrant to enter your property, and they get shot and they shoot back and you die, then that's your fault. You can't be trying to say, "Oh no."
Well, I would identify. Okay.
I mean, that's your fault, right? I mean, if you want to get into a gunfight, if you want to get into a gunfight, I'm talking. If you want to get into a gunfight with the police and you lose, then no will.
Yeah, I mean, you're right in a sense, but
I'm right in period. That's it.
No. Here, see, I like what you have to say because I hear the opposite from not Democratic people, but I hear from progressive people, and they're basically saying the opposite of what you're saying. This should have never happened. She had no reason to do this. She wasn't a threat to anybody. I know that. I guess yes, the boyfriend did get out of the way. That was kind of a dick move. He cared more about his life than he cared about his girlfriend's life. That's a shitty thing. That's a crappy thing. But at the same time, she had no right to kill them. I get it. If someone comes into my house in the middle of the night, and I don't know someone's supposed to be coming to my house and I have a gun, I'm going to probably shoot fire. Because I'm going to be nervous, I'm going to be scared, and I want to protect myself. he was a bad shot, so obviously it killed his girlfriend, but he's a bad shot. I don't think that she should have died. I think it's awful, and those cops should be in jail for life.
That's not how that works. That's not how that works. If you shoot a police officer, you actually strike the police officer and they return fire, and then a person gets hit that's right next to you where you were standing. The fault on that is on the boyfriend, because he started the whole situation. If he doesn't shoot, then they don't shoot back. They're gonna shoot where the bullet came from. They're gonna shoot straight where the bullet came from. That's what they did. And unfortunately for her, she was right there where he was standing, and they shot back. And mind you, this is going on in a matter of seconds, like less than a second, maybe 2 seconds max. So he did that. That's his fault. If you look at the actual records, before I get to my next call, if you look at the records, some of the jailhouse phone calls, people that were in the other trap house that got raided were in jail with him, and they were blaming him for getting Breonna killed. So his own people that he knew blamed him for getting her killed, saying, you sloppy, it's your fault. They did that. So if people that were there that knew him, that were in jail with him, blamed him for that, the police records show it, and even the boyfriend said that he shot first. I mean, you can't blame the officers for that. But thank you for your call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Okay, yeah. One last.
I'm sorry. The call is over. Thank you for your call. Thank you for your call. I'm sorry for the loud ringing. That's my fault. All right. If you got headphones on, RIP. I had headphones on too, so my ears are gone. All right. Let me go turn that off. There we go. Let's get to the next call here. Let's go. All right, caller, you're online. 860.
Hey, ABL, it's Sonia. How are you?
Doing pretty good. How about yourself?
Okay. I heard you talking about Angela Rye's interview with Kamala. How frustrating. Does it matter if she knows about any rappers dead or alive?
It shouldn't matter. Like, I was like, why do you even ask her this question? Like, what does that got to do with becoming the president? I don't really, why does that my concern?
And I heard in another clip elsewhere, she had started out, but I couldn't finish it. She said, how did she feel as a black woman when she heard about the Breonna Taylor case? And I thought to myself, why doesn't she ask her how she feels as a black woman when she put all those black men away?
Oh, that's a very good question. Even some innocent black men, allegedly. So that's a very good question.
That would have made more sense. And speaking of Angela Rye, I was wondering, has she ever had any kind of debate with Candace Owens? Because I would pay to see that.
I don't think so. Not that I know of, but yeah, that right there, that'd be interesting to see. That might be like Mike Tyson and Candace Owens again, stomping down some random guy off the street. But I pay money to see it.
I mean, I'll give Angela more credit than Cardi B, but I still want to know how that would go down, because at least she's still in the same lane, right? She's all about politics, Angela, if I understand.
That's right.
And now let's talk about No Debate Nancy. She kills me because she says things like that Biden doesn't have to legitimize a conversation with him or something to that effect. And I'm thinking, lady, it's not a conversation, it's a debate. And that's how it always went down before every election. And you just don't want it to happen because you know that he might not even stay awake through the thing. I mean, it's ridiculous. Do you think that they're going to cancel it, or they're going to say he has COVID?
I mean, it's too close now to talk about COVID because it's already almost Sunday. We're late Saturday night here, and the debate is Tuesday. They got this whole bit ticker and everything on the news channels, counting down to the debate. So they can't cancel it now. And if they do, he might as well just go to the debate and lose. It'd be the same thing.
I just can't see him doing that when he can't even speak on normal interviews anyway. So that's going to be something. I'm counting the days. And then Amy Coney Barrett. They're trying now, of course, part of the smear. They're trying to critique. I saw someone critiquing her adoption status of the kids from Haiti. I think the words they used were that there's known trauma with transracial adoptions, I think was the lingo. And I thought, is she the only person that adopted black children from other countries? She's not. And all of a sudden they're talking about trauma when it comes to that?
The funny part, well, not really funny, not funny at all. The ironic part is that Charlize Theron, She has
Exactly.
the black kids from a different country, and these kids are
Not only that, she's parading them around, and the boy who's transitioning to be a girl, supposedly since 3. She has that child parading around in the girl getup, and some of them, were not. I don't think it's fit for public eye. She knows she's being followed by the paparazzi, and she has the kid out on display, but nobody says nothing about that.
right. That's totally fine. That's 100% fine, and it's okay. But you got Amy Coney Barrett having these kids in a healthy, wholesome household. All of a sudden, it's a problem. They're trying to just grasp for straws. They're talking about Knights of the Columbus and are you a true Catholic, all kind of stuff. Just really weird stuff.
Well, I don't know why they want to know if she's a true Catholic, because if she's a true Catholic, then they know she's pro-life, and that shouldn't even be asked.
There you go.
Anyway, maybe they'll get upset about her initials. They're out of order. I just don't know what else they could come up with her. ACB? And listen, the latest celebrity I'm hearing that says that they're going to leave this time for real if Trump gets reelected is Snoop Dogg. And all I'm thinking, please, and take Martha with you.
That's what I want, but they said the same thing last time, that they're going to try to leave and all this and that, but nobody went anywhere.
No, they never do. And then they have the nerve to boo at the service for Ruth Bader Ginsburg, and I saw someone online say that maybe they were booing Ruth.
Hey,
I don't know.
I can't tell anymore. Nothing surprises me because, that's a pretty tacky time to boo. But like you said, maybe they were booing the person that actually passed away rather than Trump.
Yeah, especially since the left, they idolize her so much. They could have booed Trump some other time because they're only disrespecting, her when they do something like that. So I didn't think that was cool at all. But not surprising. And then the last thing, I didn't know that Don Lemon has a podcast. I saw an advertisement for it, and it's called Silence is Not an Option, If Only.
Oh, boy. So I guess that's like this whole thing about silence is violence. Is that something like what he's trying to get across?
I guess so. And I'm so glad that the guys at the NBA said what was really, said the truth, because I think that the day that other guy had walked out, maybe at the news of Jacob Blake, that it was really awkward. One of the other anchors, he left, and Charles was sitting there just sipping his tea. I don't know if that's the same day that they spoke out about Breonna, but maybe they got together, him and Shaq, and they said, you know what, next time the subject comes up, I got your back. Because when they brought it up now, you saw how they said what it is, and they said it right. And I was so thankful that somebody, had the nerve to do it, because that same guy that walked out, he still was on that racism trail. Mm-hmm. And then Shaq just said, to piggyback on Charles, they had a warrant, they did their job. It's a shame that she died, but if somebody's shooting at you, what are you going to do? So I was like, amen. I hope more follow, their lead.
Absolutely, 100%.
All right, well, thanks, ABL. Take care. See you. Bye.
All right, now, thank you.
Bye.
Great call from Sonia, as always. And we got quite a few more. Let's go ahead and get to them. All right, caller, Skype, what's happening?
Hey, Brian, how you doing?
Everything's all right, man. What's going on?
I was wondering, have you looked into the Rhea Campbell story? Because it's getting a lot worse.
That sounds familiar, but I'm not really sure what that is.
Rhea Campbell is running against Elijah Presley in Massachusetts.
Okay.
Long story short, and what happened was the BLM leader here in Boston got so mad that she was running against Presley. And Monica Cannon Grant is basically a gangster. She released this video, and she uses her fan base to attack people, like doxing. And she said, and I'm not going to say the word because Will cut me off, but it was the way it was delivered. If you ever see the movie Wolf of Wall Street, you know how you can put messages in people's heads or thoughts to make them do something, even though you're not really saying it directly. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So she said all these things about Rayla. Rayla's phone starts going off with death threats. Like people are gonna murder her. Rayla has no idea what's going on. So somebody else got a hold of that video and released it. And what happened was, when Rayla found out, she was very mad. Monica Cannon Grant attacked her husband because he's white. A whole big giant mess. Joe Kennedy, who was running for senator, got Monica Cannon Grant to endorse him. Joe Kennedy knew what was going on, and he didn't even care. The whole entire Boston media ignores the death threats from this BLM leader, and she has an organization in Boston called Violence in Boston. Like, she's supposed to like be working against violence, but she's committing all the violence. So Rayla is a wife and a mother, and she got really mad at Monica, the BLM leader. So the opening of Violence in Boston, Rayla goes to the opening, but she's on the sidewalk with a couple of her friends, Turtle Boy Sports. Turtle Boy Sports, he's a local YouTuber, and he has his own web. Basically, he does what you do, but he only covers local news.
Mm-hmm.
So then some thugs come out, and one of the guys pulls up a gun. He didn't have a gun on him, but you know when people, they take their finger across their throat like they're going to slit you, but they don't have a knife?
Yeah.
That's what he did. And Monica has all thugs and gangsters and everything like that. So, and you have to type in Monica Cannon Grant, okay? That's Cannon, and listen to that video, and you'll understand. Because when I called Will Johnson, when I called you before, I said the N-word. A lot of people don't get it, like the way it was delivered. So I was trying to tell Will how Monica said it, which led to the death threats to Rhea Campbell. Okay, and Will cut me off. I wasn't like trying to say the word, but I'm trying to explain it. So I'm not going to say it, but I want you to, after this show, like, she's trying to, this is basically, we need to get this woman into office. She's a conservative, and so what happens is, after Rhea Campbell did her protest against Monica, okay, keep in mind, Rhea Campbell is a black woman. She's black.
Well, I'm sorry.
Okay?
I'm sorry, caller. Like, we got limited time, so I need you to kind of.
I'm almost finished. I'm
almost
finished.
All right.
I'm almost finished. Monica Cannon Grant then files a false police report saying white supremacists are attacking her. Okay. She then goes down to the Boston police station, the big police station, to file this fake false report about white supremacists. All right. Meanwhile, it was a black woman that was doing the protest. Antifa shows all up. All the local news media shows up that Monica Cannon Grant is being attacked by white supremacists, KKK members, right? Rhea Campbell shows up at the police station also with a huge speaker and plays that audio from Monica. Okay. And she's been attacked by BLM. This is a story that has to get out there. Like, you don't know how bad it is.
Well, okay. What I got to do is just kind of just get through it. And like, what I do is, if I see a story, I try to like explain it in layman's terms, because the way you're telling it to me right now, I know there's a lot there, but it's kind of hard for me to really follow it, especially like live on the show. So I'm going to look into it and then see if I can just, get it out there in a way to where everybody can just grasp it and really understand the severity of it. So
I know it's a big story. If you type in Rayla Campbell for Congress, your Facebook page and her phone number there.
All righty. Well, thank you for your call. Definitely appreciate you.
Okay. Thank you, Brian.
All right. Shout out to the caller. So I kind of grasped what he was saying. Basically, you had some violence happening between people that are running for office, and you got like a BLM member running for office in Boston against a black conservative person. And I think that seat is Ayanna Pressley's seat that they're trying to battle over, and the battle has become a literal battle. That's kind of what I grasped. I could be wrong because I was kind of lost in the sauce. But anyway, let me get to the next call. All right, call you on the line. We're speaking to 267.
Yo, ABL. Name's Danny O'Brien. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Can't complain. How about yourself?
Good, man. Just enjoying the weekend. Wanted to ask you, as a conservative who's definitely out and about, I'm from the Philadelphia area and having a hard time telling my buddies that I got the MAGA hat in the dresser, and just wanted to ask what some of your suggestions would be on that.
What, as far as like coming out as conservative to your friends?
Yeah, and family. I mean, I'm talking like majority of the people I grew up with in basically a black neighborhood in Philadelphia. All of them are churchgoers, went to church with them my whole life, always talking about peace, turn the other cheek, all that stuff. And nowadays, it's completely reversed. Anytime I try to have a conversation with somebody, my friend's dad, who's a minister, is going to tell me that Candace Owens is like a puppet and a chucklehead, he said. And I'm thinking, I really like what she's saying, though, and she wants to clean up the black community, our community. What's wrong with that?
Right. Yeah. I mean, I'm with you. I'm gonna tell you, man, this is not necessarily the easiest thing in the world to do that to people. Some people ain't really gonna, they're not really going to understand. And you got to face the reality that you might lose some of your friends. But see, the thing is, once you just, from my point of view now, I can't speak for everybody because it might not be for everybody. But for me, the best thing I did was just be myself openly, because the friends you lose, I feel like weren't really true friends. That's just my opinion. Because the thing is, if you're going to have a friend that's going to abandon you over your political viewpoint, then what happens when you get into a situation that's kind of tough? When the bullets start flying, you got to duck and dodge and everything else. Are they going to be there for you then? If a friend is a true friend, then they would stick by your side regardless of your political opinions. Now, if you did something like you didn't kill little kids or something, that's different. But a different political opinion, you're still the same person. You still got their back. So that shouldn't really change much. And you're going to gain people after you are more of yourself. That's how it happened to me. I gained more than what I lost. It was a net positive rather than a negative for me.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I feel you. It's a very challenging time. Like, I've never, honestly, when Obama was running the first time, I thought I was doing the right thing for voting for Obama. All my friends get to come home from war. Like, he said he was going to end all the wars. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to vote for him. But now I'm kind of looking at it like, I think I was more racist back then by just voting for a guy because, he's going to be the first black president. Like, I didn't look at what he was running on and what his voting record was and everything like that. Now I'm looking at it like, I think I have a more open mind now, but people knock you out for coming out with that,
Yeah, I understand.
You wear a red hat.
Yeah, I mean it also depends on where you live, because sometimes you could be living in an area that's like super liberal and people aren't tolerant, but that's something different than your friends. That's a whole different thing, because your friends are your friends regardless. But that's just how I look at it. Yeah, no, I understand 100%. It's funny that we helped this one conservative kid came down to my neighborhood in Philly, in North Philly, and helped clean it up. That with the long hair, hippie kid, real nice. You're talking about Scott Pressler.
Yeah,
real tall.
He came up to clean our community, and I was like, "Yo, I want to stay on this. Like, let's keep this going. Keep it going like this." And I mean, you don't see any of the local politicians in Philly doing that to Philly. Like, it took this kid to come down and help clean it up. And,
right.
Yeah. I'm going to do it. I'm going to come out as a conservative then.
All right, man. Well, let me know how it goes.
Yeah, I will. Hey, thanks, ABL.
All right, thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, take care.
All righty. I got time for a couple more calls, maybe. Let's get to the next one here. Okay, let's do 530. You're the line. Who am I speaking to?
Yeah. This is Thomas in Minneapolis.
All right, what's going on?
Not too much. Long-time fan when you had a much smaller audience and a first-time caller. But had a couple things I wanted to talk about tonight. The Amy Coney Barrett nomination for the Supreme Court. I wish there was actually a little more fireworks and stuff to talk about with this, but Democrats really can't do anything but sit here and watch it happen while they mess their pants. I mean, there's really nothing they can do at this point. Republicans have the vote, and they pretty much blew their wad on the Kavanaugh thing. Nobody's going to go through that whole mess again. They destroyed any good faith from any Republicans they had ever once had. And, there's just nothing they can do but throw a public temper tantrum. And that's all going to work in Trump's favor. But the other thing I wanted to discuss was one thing from Trump's speech tonight that I really, really enjoyed was the fact that he pledged to start drawing down some of these foreign wars and pulling us out of this stuff. And I think that probably was the most horrifying part of the whole speech for the American State Department. Because make no mistake about it, the American State Department, the Washington political establishment, the Pentagon, they all hate Trump because he will not give them the regime change wars that they so desperately want. You know, I mean, Trump has basically pulled us out of the mess in Syria. A lot of people seem to forget that Obama was pretty much the exact opposite of being a peacetime president. They orchestrated that mess in Libya that ended up overthrowing the government there and ending up handing the country basically over to terrorists. And he had a huge part with what went on in Syria too. This country has been involved in 5 separate regime change wars since the fall of the Soviet Union. Yet our mainstream media, the State Department, the Pentagon, sit here trying to scare everybody with Russia all the time. Russia's not the one that went in and made a mess of the Middle East. We did that. But, you know, I loved what I heard from Trump tonight, and I think that these are the sorts of things that are going to get people to go out and vote for him, and I think he's going to get reelected despite what a lot of these polls say right now. I just cannot see this Biden-Harris ticket, which is the worst presidential ticket I have ever seen in my lifetime, winning the presidency. I don't know what your thoughts are on that.
No, I agree. I mean, the ticket is very bad. I mean, the head of the ticket, Joe Biden, I mean, everybody can see what's going on. There's obvious cognitive decline. He looks terrible, even in short spurts on television. 1 minute, 2 minutes, he's totally lost. I saw him today. He was struggling to remember one fact, and the way he was talking is like how you would see an elderly person in a home that's just not there. And it's like, okay, this is not cool to have this man out there on TV like this. He's not good. And then Kamala Harris is just pretending to be somebody that she's not. She has a false identity. There's nothing really there, no substance, no accomplishments. No. So terrible ticket, no accomplishments, no enthusiasm compared to the incumbent who almost never loses with a ton of enthusiasm. I don't see how there's any chance of victory from that side on the left. Yeah.
I mean, if you look back at incumbent presidents when they have been running for president again, there has never been an incumbent president that was unseated by basically just a placeholder type candidate. They've tried many times, and you know the most recent one was probably John Kerry. Well, Mitt Romney, but John Kerry was the same kind of candidate, the electable kind of candidate that they think they could get in there. Trump is a larger-than-life personality, man. I mean, he is a mega star of colossal proportions, and I just think that you're going to have a candidate like a Ronald Reagan in 1980 or like a Bill Clinton in 1992 if you were going to have any prayer of unseating a president like that. And they're hiding both of them. I mean, they're not just hiding Joe Biden; they're hiding Kamala Harris too. She has made very few public appearances, and the more people see of her, the more they do not like her. And these hearings should be really fun when all her anti-Catholic hatred starts coming out on full display for the entire American public to see. I don't know how they're gonna spin this, but this is bad for them on every level. So,
I agree, 100%.
Yeah. Well, hey, it was great to finally get to talk to you for the first time. Like I said, I've been a fan for a long time, been watching your videos for years, and I appreciate you having me on, and look forward to the rest of the stream.
Well, thank you for the call and a long time support, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Sure. Bye-bye.
All right, that's actually a wrap for the stream. The time flew by. That was already 3 hours right there. I feel like I just sat down in the chair just a little while ago. So that's a wrap. Not yet. No more calls, but I got super chats to read. I'm going to read those, so y'all don't fret. Thank you to everybody that's donated through Super Chat, through PayPal, through Cash App, through becoming a member, however you can, Smoke Signal, Bird, Call, whatever you have done, I thank you for that. So Super Chats right here, I'm going to read those, and then I'll wrap it on up, put a bow on the top. This video will be available as audio only on your favorite audio streaming platform, whether that be Apple iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, Spotify, Anchor, wherever you are. And a link for that will be in the description box. The link will take you to the Anchor page, but on the Anchor page, you'll be able to link to your different streaming platforms. And you can also search for this particular show on your favorite streaming device. Just search ABL Live. I should come right on up. It'll be like a little red graphic right there with the most recent stream. This stream will be available on Monday morning, 8 a.m. And then the Wednesday one will be available Friday morning, 8 a.m. That's my schedule that I'm sticking to. And I'm going to just keep on putting these out for y'all. So Super Chat's on that. And then we're going to get to the next part. Thank you to, let me see. Hal Rufner, who said, thank you, ABL. I read that one. Thank you to Preston White, who said, thanks for all the great information and updates. Praying for everyone. Thank you to Scott Bullion. Hopefully I didn't butcher your name, boss, for your donation. Thank you to Patrick McCarty, who says, love your content and your merch, ABL. Thank you. And by the way, these fresh hats, the We the People, all of that, that's available through ablmerch.com. Again, ablmerch.com. Matter of fact, let me put it right here. All right, ablmerch.com. There we go. And thank you to Shreeves for your donation, who says, ABL, you got us dying in Discord. We're here watching. Hey, thank y'all for, doing what y'all do. Shout out to Truth First, who says, ABL, you look like you're in serious thought. Hey, sometimes I am. It depends on what's happening. Thank you to Will Redding, who says, as a rule, change your smoke detector batteries every time daylight savings time changes. It saves lives. Absolutely. Yes, if you're hearing that beeping in your house, or if someone says, hey, we got beeping, you might not even hear it. Change the battery in your smoke detector. 9-volt battery, usually what it is. If you have an alarm system, there could be a battery in your alarm that's gone. If that's the case, you can go over to it and kind of see what's going on. There's these big batteries that they got to have. These you can get them from the Batteries Plus store. But yeah, please don't have the beeping in the... I watch videos sometimes on YouTube, like comedy skits, and I hear the beeping in the background. If I hear that, I immediately shut it. I don't even want to, and I always leave in the comments, change the battery, please. Always. But I digress. Thank you to Ndog, who says, always enjoy hearing your content. Thanks. Thank you. Thank you to Bill Myers, who says, huge support for you and your channel, ABL. You mentioned your AR-15 once. What video was it in? I like to see it. I might show you guys the AR. Matter of fact, can I show it? Hold on. Give me a second. All right. See, I get some exclusive right now. I think I showed it on Breonna Taylor's channel, but I'm gonna show it to you guys right here live. And hey, don't clown me. This is a pretty early build. I've not really had time to go out there and have some fun with it. That should go right there. Carbine, of course. Nothing really major. Red dot sight. Low foregrip. So, if you gotta get to where you gotta go, then you good money. So that's it right there. I got more guns, so this is just one. I can't show everything on stream, but I got more. So don't try it. And I got the sheriff's number. I got the deputy. I got everybody's number out here so they know who I am. Yep. All right. But, yeah, and I'm going to get some more. Shout out to, let me see. But that was for you, Bill. That could to Gwen Beaver, who says, great work, ABL. I continue to support you and all that you do. God bless. Thank you for that. I appreciate you. Thank you to Randy C, who says, ABL, prior to this year in Michigan, per my retired state trooper father, masks in public were a felony. Also, the mask mandates are only allowable under government emergency powers, which are literally temporary. Well, there it is. All right. Shout out to Zachary Titchen, who says, hold on, where am I at? Pelosi passed Trump's entire legislative agenda. Thank you to Matthew Phillips, who says, let me go back to where I was. Hold on. Sir, is that caller and Ivan in training? Talking about Zach. Shout out to Zach. Thank you to Matthew. Oh, I read that one. Thank you to Dude Lebowski, who says Alex Jones episodes are not on Spotify. Thank you to True Star for your donation. Diplomatic community, pardon me, says, our truth. We have to hide our conservative opinions from our community and extended family. We'd be persecuted and hated against and probably lose our business. Pretty sad. At diplomatic COMM1. So shout out to diplomatic community. I was reading like diplomatic community because I'm so used to seeing that phrase. All right. Thank you to Max Lank, who says ABL prosper. Thank you to MK, who says search for Laura Sutton protests. Arrested confirmed that leftists are actual clowns. Thank you to True Star, who says neighbor says I'm not black because of Trump signing yard. Hilarious. They say it to you for real? That's crazy. Thank you to Leo Mazzino, who says Amy Coney Barrett perfect picked. Exactly. Thank you to Pat Brooks for the thank you emoji with the bow. Thank you to Jordan T. Russo, who says, do you like Coleon Noir? Have you spoken to him? I like Coleon Noir. I'm a big fan of his. I've not spoken to him yet, but I feel like we'll cross paths soon. I'm a fan of his. Absolutely. Great content, really professional, just an overall good dude. Thank you to George Bunny, who says, hi, ABL. If you are the Chinese billionaire in jail, what would you do to free yourself? Man, you better start digging because you're in China. I mean, what you gonna do? Big rocks, little rocks, basically, because ain't no coming out. Because money and they don't even really care. It's like if you in jail, that's it. Thank you to Bug versus Windshield says, thanks, man. Viva Platinum Plan. Trump follows through all day. Thank you to JC Warlock, who says, shout out from Scotland, my man. Good stuff, bro. I appreciate you for that. And you guys are fantastic. The best audience on the internet. Alrighty. That'll be a wrap for me. I will see you guys again next time when I'm live. That'll be Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And I'll be live again on Breonna Taylor's channel, 8 p.m. Eastern. And again, Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern. So all the time I'm live, 8 p.m. Eastern. There's Wednesday and Thursday on this channel, Friday on Breonna Taylor's channel. And of course, all throughout the week, pre-recorded videos about the latest news topics. If you have any tips or advice or whatever, any kind of things that I need, you can send it to me at my email address. That's contact@anthonyblogan.com. Again, contact@anthonyblogan.com. All right. So that'll be it. Shout out to the moderators. Oh, shout out to Louis from Spain, who says, bring your father to the show and recreate the push and fight. Hey, I spoke to him before I got on the stream. He's doing good. Yeah, that's my dog. And he says, or invite your wife. Who would you most like to become red pill in your family? That's a good question. I feel like some of my extremist cousins need to get that. I won't name anybody's name, but you guys know who you are if you're watching. You guys need to get the red pill, but I won't say nothing. But Dad, he's cool. Okay, so shout out to the mods, True Helper, Elijah Jean, Bill from the Hills, Killer Sushi, what's that, Will Redding. Thank you guys for doing what you do. I couldn't do it without you guys. Rapper 10,000, of course. And shout out to Sean Out in the Sticks. Great name, Out in the Sticks, for becoming an ABL supporter. All right, that's all I got. You guys stay safe out there. If you get yourself a nice little rifle, handgun, shotgun, whatever you got, practice safety. Never point it at something if you don't want to destroy it. Make sure that if you're going to be showing it off, like my gun is not loaded at all. I check it just to make sure everything's straight. I never have that loaded to show it off. Always practice gun safety. Always. That's my message to you guys to end the show. So until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out. and peace.